Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Uh, let's see here. Sorry, I'm all thrown off now. It's a little bit. um, it's still early. It's the fake hours.
Mm,
Um,
a
for
little bit.
me at least. Um, all
Yeah, it's
right.
like 8 where I am. Still waking up
Yeah.
a little bit. Got a big thing
Okay.
of coffee next to me.
That's got water, unfortunately.
I mean, it's one. I've been playing a game for 4 hours, and I still waking up. So
Yeah, fair
Linda's
enough.
already through it.
hmm Truly the strongest of us. Um, yeah, so um let's just honestly start hopping into it. Um,
Mhm.
so let's see here. Where do I want to even start with Nahual? Um, where do we want to start with Nahual? Like, where do we want to start jumping into stuff? Do we want to describe the game a little bit, or do we maybe just want to start going into like who we're
uh,
playing?
yeah, I think just
Um,
grab the characters just to give things a better chance.
yeah. Um, okay. Let's start there. Oh no, you know what we should start with?
Hmm.
Um, we should start with talking about your guys's cantina.
Mm,
Mhm. All right.
Um, that should be the start because at least for a while here, the cantina is going to be the star of the show.
hmm
As we're kind of starting the game. Um, so does anyone want to um does anyone want to start here? Like describing does anyone want to start describing our little bar we have? Um it's
Um,
definitely a thing I
Might
would
be
have had
best to
Tanya
explain the
do.
world of things first.
Yeah, that's fair. Do I always feel like that's a good way to do it through a place, but we can also do it. So yeah, um so this is a game. Um, this is a Mexican urban fantasy about playing a group of anheleros who are people who typically run a business and also murder angels as kind of like their main supply for that business they run. Murder and process and eat angels for food or for alcohol or for drugs or for kind of anything. Um, Dead angels can get it for you. Um, it is a got some. I think would it be fair to say there's like some Forge in the Dark stuff going on a little bit? How this
Hmm.
game kind of functions.
yeah,
Um,
totally.
so I sort of want to like start us talking about almost like a pseudo start us with like a pseudo downtime by kind of
Hmm.
framing us in the cantina at the start a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
All right. And our cantina, I believe we chose the name Angel.
I
That's
Yeah,
just
believe we
definitely.
did.
Yes,
very on
because why would we not?
um
Just advertising the fact that you guys serve a dead angel here. You know.
Hmm.
Yeah, who do you think in our group actually named the bar?
Tonya.
I actually so I wonder if it was Don, your like employee guy, the master brew who
Mm,
works here,
yeah.
because I believe we discussed this was his bar before you guys like started
Mm,
owning it.
hmm
Um, so I wonder if he named it or did you guys change the name on him?
I think
Either way is fun.
I think that person named it. I don't know if it was us.
Yeah.
I think we thought it's funny. I think Ramiro thought it was funny. I don't know about the rest of the characters, but I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah, so like for this, like the Changaro, which is like the type the Cantina is, it's sort of like the group playbooks, but rather than being like the hounds or other stuff that describe the kind of crime you're in, you just have different options for what your food establishment is. We've got
Mhm.
taco truck, carniceria, we've got cantina, and we have vecindad, which is more, it's not really like a food establishment, it's sort of doing our own thing. But we
It's
chose the cantina.
yeah. The Dot is just kind of like D&D adventurers, honestly.
Mhm.
Like you just hang out. It's it's a cool one, but I
Hang
really
out
like
and sell ground up angel bones when you feel like it.
yeah.
But it also lets
Um,
us do the thing being in the cantina. We get to have the archetypal D&D thing of starting in the tavern. But
Mhm.
uh-huh.
it's just our
Mhm.
cantina. We own the tavern. It's ours.
Yeah.
Yep.
And speaking of, let's go over some of the things that Cantina can do here. So I wanna
Mhm.
start with the hmm. So let's just start with the kind of going over briefly its moves, which is I'll kind of go over this in like order of I guess impact. Uh, they get home advantage. At your Cantina, you take +1 on going to make a fuss and figuring someone out. So just
Mhm.
um, home turf.
Bring everyone to our
Um,
bar.
yep. They also got Don Vicente, a master brewer that makes the makes all their alcohol. Not makes all their alcohol all here. A lot of their alcohol here. Sometimes he shows up drunk to work, but he makes 5-star shit. Your clients love it. Take +1 on going to party time. Um, I think we kind of described him in our case as like an older guy,
Mhm.
who used to own this cantina, right? He's an older guy who used to own the cantina until someone from your group, who unfortunately had to reschedule, but they're still here in our heart. Um, Tonio had to buy it, bought it from him. Um, So you guys own the cantina now, and he's just here to keep making booze.
Mhm.
Um, did we establish if he is an Angelero or not, or is he just like a guy?
I don't think we ended up establishing that at all.
I think he's probably
No.
just a guy.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's so funny. Like we are these
Mhm.
like angel hunters that are like doing all this like really intense stuff. Meanwhile, this guy is just in the background being like, "Oh wow, all my coworkers are so kooky. I'm so glad I get
Mhm.
to make my fun drinks here."
Mhm.
He knows what you do. He just,
Yeah.
I mean, we
Because
get the
he
raw
has
shit,
to,
and he
because he
makes it
mixes
good.
the drinks, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
that's
Yeah.
true.
So
That's
he
true.
probably knows how to process it.
yeah.
Yeah.
He knows what it is and everything. That's not a secret to like I mean anyone in the world really.
Mhm.
And he's obviously very aware, but he can't like do it. You know, he has to be. He has to like hand you a grocery list, and the grocery list is dead angels on it like 5 times. You know.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the raw angel blood is just toxic as shit to most people. So we need him to actually make it good.
Yeah. They get a move called Party Time, which if we end up rolling that, we'll talk about what that one
It's a big
does.
thing.
It's a big whole thing. And then they get a group of regulars, or as the book calls them, I don't know why the sheet does it.
Regulars.
Damn regulars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Hey, there we go.
Hello.
Good timing. Um. We were just
Yeah.
doing the kind of like introductions to the cantina and stuff,
Yeah.
so you didn't really miss anything.
Yeah.
Um. This is also perfect timing because I'm gonna like just introduce the regulars really quick. You know what? No, they'll show up and play. We'll let
Yeah.
them happen in real time.
Yeah, one of them is
Um,
definitely going to show up as we go through things.
Yeah, I know 2 of them are like 100%. I know what they're up to already, at the very least. So yeah, so let's just start with character introductions.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first? Normally, I'd start at the top of our Roll20 page, but
Yeah.
he did just roll in, so I'll give it a
I may as well start then to go the other way. Just
yeah.
Okay, so I'm playing Ana Alejandra Garcia. She is the Jaguar, and she's if you take a wide view, very non-conforming. If you take a narrower, more precise view, she is very much the archetypical butch. She's fairly young. I think we said like early mid-20s. Got wild eyes, a generally messy look, and is generally wearing a old World War II flight jacket. So as the Jaguar, she has two main vices. Might as well just go down them in the order on the sheet here. Bloodlust and hubris. When she kills things, feels better, and when she just does things wrong because she's just better, and she knows it. So yeah, she's the signature move for the Jaguar is Apex Predator, which just means she is just better, more threatening than anyone else, but just by default. And yes, a few options, and I can just not just pick powerful and frightening, just because it's just the most perfect one. And yeah, then got a few totem moves to help with that. She can kill things in the shadows and just roar and scare people the hell off when she's transformed. And also just sneak and see people. She's grown up around here. She's I think it's like 4th or 5th generation Angelero. She did a little while ago kill a cartel member who was harassing her girlfriend, and that went more or less okay, because generally the cartels, it's understood if you start fucking with a Jaguar's girlfriend, you deserve whatever you get coming to you. His brother, not so much. And I think we'll do the relations after everyone, I guess.
Yeah, after like a basic introduction of everyone is probably a smart play.
What's Anna up to currently in the cantina, though?
Yeah, in the cantina right now, she's kind of just sat, by the door, keeping an eye on everyone. There's probably a few, like a couple of less experienced Nahuals who are probably not like full Angeleros, but just keeping an eye on them, seeing if they're going to cause a fuss, and just getting ready to chuck them out on their ears if they fuck up.
Yeah, that makes people who, in theory, could apply the trade, but just have not ever actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got a tiny. They maybe can transform a tiny bit if they really push themselves.
Definitely require a mask. Definitely, like, full stop, need their mask and Hearts of the Youth. Yeah, so let's just keep going from the bottom and talk about Miro.
All right. So I am playing. Let me pull up my character sheet. I am playing Ramiro Miranda Akka, or just Miro. I'm playing the Aguila playbook, which is the eagle. And Miro is like, he is an old dude. He doesn't look like he's in the 80s. He looks maybe, you probably guess anywhere between 55 to like 65. But he was born in like 1801. He is hundreds of years old. It's probably some magical shit, but like when you like press him and ask him, "Hey, how are you so old?" Like people know enough people know about this about him. He says shit like, "Oh well, I've grown up to be this old because every morning I woke up with the sunrise and I went to bed when the sun set anytime I could, and I never ate food north of the Rio Bravo and stuff like that." Um, so he's like that kind of old dude. He's also very much like like the stereotype of like the old ham radio guy. Um, that's one of like the signature move of the eagle is the eagle's nest, where it says, "I have a hidden lair, safe, secret, and secure." Got a bunch of other stuff in that, but really it is just full of janky ass centuries old wires and radios, and he kind of uses it to honestly kind of spy on the rest of the society around him. Like he is older than the term surveillance state. Um, and I think if he had grown up with that term, he might not be doing the things that he's doing. But also, I think he used it as necessary to protect people and to make sure everyone is like up and up on stuff, and also to communicate with each other like more discreetly. So uh, I think that's a lot of his vibe. For persona, I put non-conforming, but I think kind of like in the ways like you look at like an old dude, like he just kind of looks kind of weird. Um, but senior, piercing eyes, and a very practical look. His vices are cruelty. When you insult or demean someone you care about by pointing out their flaws or mistakes, activate this vice. And defiance. When you purposely challenge or taunt figures of power, activate this vice. Um, Beyond that, I talked about the Eagle's Nest. It says tactical and comms gear. The list of things says special vision devices, motion detectors, tactical tools, high-tech comms. These are radios. This is as low tech as you can get while still having it be tactical and comm gear. He's skeptical of basically any digital tag. Um, and then also has some protective and survival gear, first aid stuff, some like vests and helmets and things like that. And also, most importantly, occult knowledge, including ancient tomes, collection of scrolls, cryptic database. These are just things he's collected over the course of his life. Some of them have like histories, some have like ways to deal with angels, and some have prophecies about the future. Um, and I think that's the majority of his vibes. I think right now in the cantina, Ramiro is probably in the back. I think he's cooking something up. I think he's making rajas con crema, which is kind of like it's like
Oh,
roasted
you're gonna
potatoes.
make me hungry. Can't be doing this.
The longer we stay in the cantina, the longer I will describe delicious Mexican.
I know. I mean, same.
But I think he thinks it's a good thing to help out hangovers, and I think there are some guests that are needing some of that right now. So he's cooking up special for them.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's me, bro.
This is a game that you definitely want to have eaten before uh, playing or watching, because food comes up a lot. I say finishing my breakfast. Yeah, I always like.
All right.
It didn't. It didn't occur to me right away, but I had what's the word I'm looking for? I didn't realize how much that Miro was reminding me of if you've ever played any Rainbow Six Siege, Stature, like the grumpy old guy who doesn't like all this high tech stuff that people have. Like such the same, like a very very similar vibe.
And like he's the archetypal old guy.
Yeah. That's just not quite. Oh yeah. Also, a thing to point out that Antlers typically do not live this old. This is like abnormal.
Yeah, that's a very good point. It's abnormal, and I think partly it's because he doesn't really put himself in dangerous situations, kind of in a cowardly way. So like even though he's been doing this, he like when we're on missions and stuff like that, he's like, "Oh, I've been doing this for centuries. You got to follow me." But he's not any better at this than anyone else in the team. Like we thought about how like Anna was like 17, 16, something around there. He's not any better than Anna. I would even say that Anna's probably better at this than he is. So He's got his
I
ways. There you
Do
go.
you think we need to just pause here?
Yeah.
Because we've just had a £550 donation from Ian.
Whoa!
Holy
Oh,
shit!
I can't express how much Roll Plus Fun means to me. Thank you to everyone who makes this community what it is.
Thank you so much.
thank you,
Jesus.
Ian.
That's amazing.
There's a reason I don't look at I keep the donations hidden until after the game, because anytime something like that happens, it's gonna throw me off. How dare no?
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
that needs to get called out right away. Because Jesus Christ, my dude.
Yeah,
That's
That's
so
Thank
amazing.
you so much.
yeah. Thank you. That's impressive.
But yeah, I think that's all for Miro.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll go next. I'm playing It's Kodal. They are shifting, mature, have arresting eyes, and an extravagant look. And they use any pronouns. The shifting is that she's like gender presentation depends on her whims. She's like early 30s, and the extravagant look is she always has a outfit that's very impractical and show-stopping when she walks into a room. Her vices are deceit, when you mislead someone close to you into entering a dangerous situation or join you in a malicious scheme, and indifference, when you deny your help or spare resources to someone in dire need. And she is the Serpiente, someone with a manipulator that's social and charming without any real relationship or attachment. Merciless. Yeah, so the moves she has is she can spend time with someone to convince them to do things. She has venom, which can cause serious harm to people and also paralyze them. And she can also attack someone with a small blade and hypnotize people into answering questions.
Notably, the
Hmm?
venom can also heal people, which I think is a fun thing about it that
Yeah.
makes this stand out in this interesting way, because I this is a playbook that if I would not want to be healed by the serpent particularly. I
Hmm. Wow,
but
so hurtful.
well, listen. Let's just call it how it sees it. Yeah.
Yeah, she has a place to crash that's underground and known only to those she trusts. It is an undiscovered archaeological site. And she has a motorcycle, 2 antique obsidian knives. And are we going over the burial questions?
We'll go ahead and go over this when we go over all the relationship stuff,
Okay,
because
yeah.
we'll do all those
Okay, got
at
it.
one.
I did
All
mention
those.
my. Oh, I actually didn't mention my equipment, did I?
No, you didn't. And for you, your equipment is like a big
Yeah.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit so. Yeah, less impressive than Iskawatl, but yeah, I've got an old apartment, a cheap cell phone, my mask, a couple of hearts of the earth. Then I have a suppressed 9mm pistol that I took from the cartel member I killed, a tactical knife, which my grandfather won from a U.S. Marine who was on shore leave, and light armor, which is my great grandfather's flight jacket, and just a folding knife that I just bought from a shop. And I also have a 50, how did we say it was, from a 1980s sports bike, which has been done up by our Tonio, who is unfortunately not here right now. He's off do your other stuff, and it doesn't need any fuel. It works.
Yeah, and to finish off, I think right now she's wearing like a big I think like a slim fitting gown, and is just sort of lounging in the corner nursing a hangover. Just sort of lounging around. I think someone has told her to do something, and she is telling her to do something, and she's just like, no, no, no. Ugh, later. Right now, I'm too much. And yeah, she's got long hair and tattoos of snakes all over her body.
Hell yeah. Do you just have like a big bowl of menudo at the bar?
Yeah, I think so.
Uh, just classic hangover food. Now I want menudo. I mean, I always want menudo though, so that's not hard. Get them later. All right, yeah. So still just going up from the top. Yeah, Adrian.
Yeah, so Adrian is they them. They are androgynous, young, have guarding eyes and a traditional look. They are the youngest of the group. they were they were hired by their cousin, who is not here right now, Tonio. But they know how to get to work, even though they're young. Playing as the armadillo, they have they do think that they are morally superior. Yes. They have a tough nature, a noble heart, and have a soft spot for those in trouble, and does everything in their power to protect them. The vices I picked for my armadillo are obstinacy and danger, like when I refuse to retreat in the face of terrible odds. I use this vice, or when I jump into danger without plans. What else was mentioned? I'm sorry, I took a nap and it went on for too long.
Oh no, it's okay. So we mostly just went over the cantina. So you should probably the major thing you should go over as the armadillo is your code, because for people who have not looked at this game, the armadillo is, I mean, it's basically like an archetypical paladin kind of playbook. It has a lot of Dungeon World's paladin in particular in it.
Yeah, so their signature move is Knight in Shining Armor. It says I have a gentle heart, and with my code of armor, I try to uphold by always helping those in need, protecting others from danger. So my personal code, because every armadillo has things they can pick from, is that I always try to avoid collateral damage. I never strike the first blow. Like, I'll never start a fight, but I'm sure as hell gonna finish it. I never deny aid to a friend. Yeah. There are other moves like Protector that's specific to the armadillo Nahual. When I protect someone from an impeding threat, there are consequences, and I am tougher than most, so I have extra stress boxes compared to others. Yeah. Oh, and for equipment that I have, there isn't much. I mostly just start with a cleaver. Oh wait, no, I start with a machete. I think that's what I picked. Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. It's actually in my illustration, but right now
yeah.
they're all so tiny, and I don't know how to change that.
Yeah, can you?
Maybe I can make him bigger.
Yeah.
Actually, I can make
You
him
should-
bigger. Let me, because we have some art. Let me make him bigger.
Yeah, art and a pit crew.
It counts.
Yeah, that's still.
Did you give AJ some scars in the latest draft, or did you not get around to it?
No, I slept. I did my first volunteer shift with animals ever today, and then I just came home and I slept.
Oh,
Mm,
sick.
nice busy
Yeah,
day.
that's fair. Sleep more important.
Mhm.
I say as someone who slept like 4 hours last night.
Oh my
Mm.
gosh. This is like right after goblin hours, so
Mhm.
Yeah. No, these are the fake hours, as I like to call them. They're not real. Yeah, but I mean, good,
what
good
am
knife.
I? Yes, I have my machete with me, and I am in the cantina. I was hired for manual labor, and I'm gonna do that manual labor. Like before, Miro might have done some of the washing up, but I can do it better and faster. So
Are you just in the dish pit?
yeah, just getting that shit done, man.
Yeah, so that is kind of like the basics for everyone, and then we should so kind of okay, briefly go over um Kanyo, which is we kind of
Mhm.
built this crew in Cantina with
Yeah,
a
my
fifth person.
cousin.
Yeah, with a fifth person who we was ended up very plugged into everything, and ended up owning the Cantina, uh was Adrian's cousin, like big deal, and unfortunately just life happens. But Tonio is still kind of like around, like there was really no way to unplug him from everything, and he is just he would have been the mono, the monkey, kind of like a tinkerer sort of guy. And we'll get more about what Tonio's like when we go over the crew relationships, because those will be um the ones with him will still be important.
Mhm.
But just know he is not here right now. So when if we talk about a guy who is not here, that is why. They got
Mhm.
a friend who is just not here at the moment. Um, which does mean I think a few things are not happening at the cantina that normally would be.
Mhm.
I think the front in particular is like the actual bartending has to be done by Don right now, and
Mhm.
Don is not the like he's very sociable because he's probably currently drunk.
Mhm.
But also like the kind of sociable that does not make you a good bartender. Um,
Of
you
course.
know, um, he is like he is almost certain. You know what? We'll get to it after we do the bods.
Do you
But I think he
think
is currently.
we may have got Juan in to do some stuff, give to clear some of his tab?
No, I think what he's doing is I think he is very drunk, and him and your regular Roman are in an arguing match. They're
Okay.
currently they're currently like having a debate about aliens is what is happening right now. Um
I think
and
So,
its Kodal is like chiming in when like and like encouraging them.
of course,
oh,
she is.
of course, yeah. Um but yeah, let's go over our let me open another tab of our doc real quick. Um, Now let's just go over the kind of bond questions with each other, and we can
Mhm.
just start at the bottom again. I think that'd be the easiest
Yep.
with Anna. Yeah.
Okay. So I did. So yeah, I mentioned the my binary question already. I killed Javier Santos, who was a cartel member who was making threats to Lisandra Gutierrez, who is my girlfriend, and his brother Luciano is still upset, even if the rest of the cartels kind of shrugged and said, "Fuck around and find out."
Fuck her. Yeah, you fucked around and you found out. Um,
But yeah, as far as the relation questions go, I just need to actually get the full sheet up because I haven't put the write-ups on in the Roll20. So, I see Iskrotil as almost unequal. I see them as incredibly dangerous. I haven't told him, but the respect is kind of obvious. Generally, very very much just goes unsaid, and it's. I mean, Anna's not exactly the most subtle type when expressing her feelings. Adrian is the only person that can keep my violence in check because basically they're just generally just a grounding presence, someone who I can generally trust to have my back, and if things do go wild, is probably the only one that can actually physically take it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even then, it's
Even then,
it's up in the air, but the armadillo can take a lot of punishment.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah,
there's like a famous proverb of like the
I just go out of
yeah.
I just got out of order here because next one is fairly simple. Tonio does think I'm the coolest badass around and just follows me around and just is generally impressed with how tough and cool I am. And enjoys that adoration, but he doesn't really seek it out or makes use of it at all. Just enjoys it in the background. And now the big, half of the big one here. Miro knows my darkest secret. Basically, there's a very widely known prophecy about a jaguar that will eat the sun. Miro knows a lot more about the prophecy, and he has previously linked my great grandfather to it, but Anna is meeting the criteria a lot more. Hasn't told her about this because, like I said, people know the prophecy as, the jaguar's going to eat the sun and destroy the world. So that's not generally a good thing to have people thinking about you. Or a good thing to tell someone who might have reasons to not take that well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know who would take that well. Honestly,
I might take that well from someone else, not from Miro.
Yeah, not
okay, yeah. Well, yeah, that part's fair. Yeah. So that is Anna. So we should do. Yeah, Miro's next. Perfect.
Well, let's give Mira's side of that. So I also didn't give my barrio my relation to the thing, my broad relationship to the community. I have you see yourself above everyone else in the barrio. Who was the only person in the barrio close to your level, and what did you do to make them fall? So that person was Lorenzo Garcia, who is Anna's great grandfather. And again, I saw this happening. I was really nervous about it. I was like, Sun Eater, Jaguar, everything's lining up. So Miro selflessly took it upon himself to arrange an accident that may have killed Lorenzo during the Second World War.
Yeah. During World War II, Lorenzo was a fighter pilot, I believe, right? We talked about him being part of the
Aztec
real
Eagles.
life Aztec Eagles. Yeah.
And Miro was the radio operator for them. And Miro gave Lorenzo some bad information, and Lorenzo went down over the Pacific. And I'm pretty sure all of Anna's family knows about that. And if not knows, suspects it. I think that Miro, in retrospect, feels very guilty about it, but one of the kind of guilty that he's not at the point of making amends. It's a lot more, oh god, I'm so fucked up. This is part of my tragic backstory, kind of old guy way. Very, very veteran. but I think he wants the best for Anna. I think he sees the potential, but also I think he's kind of terrified of her at the same time, and he feels really guilty. He's just so freaking complicated about this, and he's been bottling all this up. But prophecies going one way, it's seeming like things might be happening here, and so that's really what's going on there. Let's see. And then of course my relationship with Anna specifically, the one I chose, an error in your judgment, quote, resulted in the death of someone important to Anna. Have they forgiven you for your mistake? I don't think anyone in your family's forgiven you. You can correct
No.
that. Yeah. So that's the dynamic there. Going for the rest of our team here. I've got for Itzcoatl, Itzcoatl once got themselves in bad trouble I saw coming from a mile away. I think Itzcoatl was made a mark on an angel that was sort of like trying to hunt them down and do stuff entirely on their own. And Miro was like, this could be really dangerous, but I really want to see how Itzcoatl can handle themselves on their own. So just sort of like looked in, like, doing the surveillance state thing, making sure they were okay. Would have intervened if Itzcoatl wasn't okay, but was able to handle themselves totally fine. It was totally fine. So I think while Miro thinks that Anna might be the most powerful and dangerous in the group, I think that in some way Miro thinks that Itzcoatl is the one that he'd most like to be on a team with and is most happy being on a team with, because he thinks that Itzcoatl is very capable, very able to handle themselves however they need. And then we have Adrian. And I've got Adrian is the only person I truly take advice from. I trust them because they are the most principled person around. Um, and I think that going on the similar things, like I think that Miro thinks that Adrian is the most upright, the most morally good and best person on the team. So I think that especially like my relationship with Tonio, because Tonio's the person who like owns the cantina. I've got Tonio's always trying to boss me around, what's holding me back, and like I just don't want them to be I recognize what they're trying to do, so I accepted the tiny bit of Antonio. But Adrian, if Adrian gives me says stop doing that, Miro, that why are you saying that? That's messed up. I think that Miro genuinely listens to Adrian. And genuinely trust Adrian when Adrian says that Mira's doing something wrong. Mira's like, okay, all right, well, note taken. Yeah, those are my relationships.
Yeah. Then yeah, it's Cole next. Cole is next.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay, so my relationships are, I'll start with the barrio one. You have a dangerous and powerful enemy of the barrio in your pocket. Why are you seducing them? So, one of our regulars, of the cantina, El Kaido, drunkard, fallen angel, drowning their sorrows in Shingere and on its way to becoming a Diablo. I think El Kaido, I met El Kaido when they were still not fallen, and I've been seducing them. And in the process, I caused them to fall, and I have been continually seducing them and enabling their drunken proclivities because I want the power of having a Diablo on my side.
A quick brief background setting thing on Diablos, an angel that is falling, is it is not a a typical moral thing, or it is straight up just coming in contact with a human with Nahual blood will do that. So typically angels do not touch people, because that blood is so diluted that making any human contact of any kind of way is likely to cause you to fall. A angel that is in the process of falling is more a chronic disease than it is it kind of is anything else. It is and most angels are typically, I mean, the book kind of describes them like chickens, like they're almost like animals. Some not so, and those angels take a little longer for the process of becoming a Diablo 2 happen. Most of the time, it's fairly quick. Yeah.
Mhm.
And this is also the same angel from Miro's relationship, right? Is that same
Mhm.
thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Miro saw Itzcoatl being like wanting to make this angel fall, and Miro's like, "This sounds interesting. Let's make sure they don't die. Let's see if they can keep themselves from dying." And Itzcoatl's doing great.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
called
don't worry about
doing
it.
fine.
Yeah, Ramiro is the only person I truly care about. To gain my genuine affection, they are just more interesting than everyone else because they actually have ambition, unlike some of these people. Yeah, and I enjoy sharing fun and pleasure with Anna. And they are taking this less seriously. And Itzcoatl is just someone to fight alongside, but I think Itzcoatl believes that eventually Anna will come around and take this more seriously, because clearly I am a better partner. Itzcoatl isn't taking this super seriously either, other than it's a fun game that it's playing. Yeah, and Itzcoatl killed someone for Adrian. And Itzcoatl
Did you
killed
really? Did you really? Was it really for me?
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. Yeah, totally. Someone was bothering Adrian at the bar. A customer was bothering them and poisoned them with my venom. And the look on Adrian's face made the whole thing worth it. I enjoyed it so much I didn't ask for anything in return. Sorry, are we doing the Tonyo one?
Yeah, go ahead and mention the Tonya one.
Okay. I lured Tonyo into doing something awful for me. I convinced them to experiment adding my poison into drinks when I first got the power. This led to people dying and having an awful time. I pretended to be interested in their craft to get them to do this for me. When they found out, they realized I didn't pick up anything they taught me.
Yeah, I think, and that's also related to the poisoning incident, no? Or is it a separate one?
Mm-hmm. No, that was
Okay.
during that time.
Mhm.
Because I think after that, I was kind of banned from messing with the drinks at all.
Mhm.
Fair, very fair.
Yeah, anytime you get next to the drinks now, it doesn't really matter where he was in the cantina. Don Vicente shows up and just like smacks you in the hand with something, Whatever implement he had, it just like whap right in the wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like, don't poison the customers. We need those to like run our business. Please stop. We're gonna get the
Like
health inspectors to come back, and that's bad.
he's like, I had no deaths here until you people started showing up. Okay, and it's like no deaths. He's like, I had one death here until you
Mhm.
people started. But yeah.
It's all in quotes.
Lastly, agents.
Yeah. Adrian's relations, their general relation to the barrio is that there's a rival taco truck sneaking around and trying to steal our physical meat source. And Adrian is trying to prevent that from happening. And yeah, I want to find out why they're doing it and stop them. My relationships include to Anna is she is the only one I can trust to protect the innocent as almost as well as I can. but I haven't told them because it doesn't need to be said. I think it's obvious to everyone. Then its Kodal is a terrible influence on Al Qaeda. I think that's also very obvious. I mean, except that Miro finds it interesting. So, but yeah, I try to give El Cairo snacks and water, try to keep him away from her, but the poor guy just keeps going back. The person that I can't trust, unfortunately, even though he places so much faith in me, is Mira. Even though they had done nothing to merit my suspicion, I think like through the work we've done, I feel that Miro is a coward and they just haven't done enough to garner any trust or respect. And while I didn't know about his relationship to Anna, I think once that Anna saw like how I was also distrustful of Miro, that eventually they would tell me about like what's gotten on in between their families.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, so even though they're not here, I did once break my code for Tonyo. Like I helped defend them from thugs trying to get back, like trying to get back from like stealing stuff. Uh, like, I think which code specifically did I break? Like probably like avoiding collateral damage and maybe even striking the first blow. Like,
I
and then
think I remember those being the ones. Yeah.
yeah. But like since then, I've really regretted it because of so much blowback. They never thanked me. And then they lied to our family about it because we are cousins and cousins should not do that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my family has noticed that I've come up with more and more scars, but just like as the good younger cousin I am, I never mentioned it, was hoping for Tonio to open up or like to fess up, but that hasn't happened. And now we're gonna get into more trouble because of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, no,
But
they're
you
just
know,
left the city to go and deal with some cartels. Go to
yeah,
pick up some stuff from the cartel.
yeah.
Well,
So
I think so
how that
much
can
of the
that be
problem
trouble?
is they act younger than they are, and Adrian does the opposite. And there's just so much maturity
There,
conflict.
there is so many cousins like that.
Mhm.
So many. Um, there's- I mean, so many siblings like that. But I feel like that's a particular like kind of cousin relationship.
Yeah, we
Um,
grew up together. We're brothers, yeah.
Mhm.
um. But yeah, so I mean, people are
Oh, they
hmm.
also did get me this job.
Yeah.
Oh
Once
yeah,
they,
they also they
yeah,
bought the cantina and hired you immediately hired
yeah.
their cousin. Um, so let's kind of talk a little bit about the um what's going on here. Let's see. So people kind of bumming around the cantina, right?
Mhm.
And the thing I kind of want to do uh basically to be a little transparent before we really get in things is maybe do a basically a cycle of Chingara moves, um starting with restock because typically in this game you start like with full supplies and then they dwindle, but we decided that you're starting with no supplies so we could do like a brief hunt. um
Mhm.
And I'm curious, what happens when you guys realize that you are out of stock? Um, Probably a thing that Tonyo normally handles, and he's not here right now. Um,
Ah, shit. Here we
so
go again.
how does that hit you? Like,
It's Kodal like goes into like the back to like get more drinks because he wants to get more get drunk again. Like its total is like looking for drinks to consume. It's like shit, we're out. Shit, guys, we're out.
What do you mean we're out?
We're out. Like we don't have any more drinks.
Do you have anything brewing, Don Vicente?
So I think he was. He like looks over from the bar, right? Because he's doing the bartender thing right now,
Mhm.
and he goes, "Nah, I just finished my last my last stock," and then he just finished brewing the last bottle, and he's holding the bottle half empty, very obvious that he has been hitting that bottle that he just brewed.
Okay.
And it has not been going. I mean, it has been going to the customers, but like
Mm-hmm.
It's also
who
been
knows
going
how
to a
that?
lot of us.
Yeah, who knows how that's been split? So
Half between the
Um,
Etzcodal, half between the Don.
yeah, kind of. And
Oh yeah.
Roman at the
Oh.
bar is like, "Are you guys out of your funny alien juice?"
It's called tequila. First off, it's not alien stuff. And also, yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
it could let you see aliens, but
I mean, I've already, I already know. Can't fool me. And he crosses his arms,
Uh-huh.
like leans back in the, like leans a little too far back in the chair that is, like a bar stool.
I think Anna grabs him just before he falls over. Says, "Careful there, agents. Don't want to have to deal with handling a federal agent's body."
It'd be fine. Just kind of leans forward. Thank you, though.
like, oh my gosh, did Antonio forget to stock up before they left? Not again.
Okay. I'm gonna need to go hunting then.
I think we stocked up like pretty heavily. It's just we've been going through a lot.
You've been going through a lot. Eyebrow raise.
I think just like a scoff, and it's like, no, I've just been like looks up like calculating in their head. You know what? It's we've had a lot of customers. Very busy.
Uh-huh.
Right.
I think its total hasn't just been like consuming it. I think like has been bringing bottles with her when she like I imagine she has like a lot of admirers and whatnot. So she'll just like bring bottles with her. She'll like go out and like bring like a case, you know?
Oh my god. I mean, in fairness, it probably does work. It's good advertising. Legitimately. So
Mhm.
not necessarily the goal, but nice side effect, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone just stumbles in the bar going, what was that nice person that there was a drink and I don't remember much, but
I think whenever that happens, Anna just sighs and says, "Yeah, we can get you sorted."
Hey, what a fucking piece of work. So yeah, is everyone gonna set out on a hunt?
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
you got
Mhm.
it.
yeah.
All right, let's kind of go over the basics of this move a little bit before we talk about like what this like specifically looks like. Which is if you're hunting in your turf, which I'm guessing you guys are, um, you pick someone to lead a pack to hunt angels on your turf, and then you roll, kind of adding an amount of like plus ones depending on your answers to the questions. So, do any of the hunters have a predator totem animal? Yes. Oh, I closed my roll 20.
Yeah.
I accidentally clicked the. Actually, who? So, quick question: who is leading the hunt?
It has to be Anna, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's like story sort of thing.
Yeah,
Miro
that
only does
makes.
what he has to. And if
Yep.
I'm willing to step up to it, Amira's like, all right, okay, I'll spot you.
All right, yeah. So you guys get a +1 for having a predator. Does every Anharo summon there, Mahal? You take +1. As a reminder to do that, it is if you have your mask with you, it's +1 stress. And if you eat a heart of the earth, it becomes like if you it costs 2 stress, and if you have your mask with you, that's -1, and then if you eat a heart of the earth, that's another -1. So you could then summon with no stress. So does everyone transform for the hunt?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We can kind of feel free to mark stress if you want to eat, because you guys start with 2 hearts of the earth. Feel free to mark stress accordingly.
I'm going to just mark the 1 just so I have the 2 in case I need to go crazy in the later
Yeah.
on.
For a little bit of a context, the hearts of the earth are honestly, the book is kind of vague about them, but I always kind of assumed they were like cactus fruit.
Yeah, kind of like cactus
Um,
fruit mix combined with pomegranate in terms of, uh, how they look in terms of
yeah,
weird and bloody, creepy.
yeah. On the outside, I think when you bite into them, they are filled with like weird blood. I'm not sure
Mhm.
if it's not like red human blood, but I think it's weird blood.
Yeah, it's got like an
Um,
odd metallic scent.
yeah. Um, but they help you transform. So, and we'll definitely talk about what those look like once we get all the things for this move here.
Mm-hmm.
Let go. I have accidentally. Oh, I see what I did. 1 second. Uh. hmm, I made a mistake of clicking on something on a PDF that has hyperlinks.
Ah.
And I've lost it. Here we go. Okay. So everyone summons Rahal. Does anyone have the afraid or insecure conditions?
Nope.
Take a
Nope.
-1, which we do not.
Don't even have
Does
them
your turf?
available.
Yeah, that's fair. Does your turf have the scarcity checked? Take a -1. No, it does not. So yeah, just roll me a 2d6 +2. We'll kind of see how this hunt goes.
Is this for everyone?
No, only the person leading it. So it's only
Yeah.
on this roll. Everyone's
Yep.
there.
That's a 10.
Yep.
Oh shit, nice. Okay.
Beautiful.
So on a hit, the hunt is fruitful. You kill 1 angel for each member of the pack who joined the hunt.
Holy.
Um, and you mark scarcity. So it's fine. 10 plus. Pick 1 from the list. 7 to 9, you pick 3. So the list is you get hurt during the hunt. Mark 5 heavy wounds divided among the pack. You cause collateral damage. The Marakame will tell you the consequences. The hunt is hard. Mark 4 conditions divided among the pack. And the hunt is scarce. You kill 2 fewer angels.
Hmm. What do we think?
I kind of like the idea of collateral just because maybe we're like
Yeah.
rushing to get this done.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm curious about where you guys in the barrio, like where do you do the hunt? Like what does this look like? Where do you typically search for angels?
Hmm.
I think it's probably like in a We said we're kind of like in the suburbs of Mexico City, didn't we?
Yeah.
Suburbs is like not quite right, but yeah,
Mm.
like it's I guess suburbs is
the outer
yeah,
districts
yeah.
of it. Not like the dead
Um,
center, but
yeah,
still,
suburbs is probably right, but like not the
it's
way
not
we
suburbs in
use the
American
terms.
term.
Yeah, not suburban, like actually like smaller parts of the city.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder then, like, I know a lot of small communities, sometimes you'll see stuff that was, like, built around a church and there's, like, a small town
Mhm.
square and then other stuff there. I wonder
Yeah,
if
that's what I was thinking. Like some like it was like a small town, in the 1800s. That's now just in the middle of the city.
And probably centered around like a mission or the like.
Mhm.
Lots lots of places like that in California. I mean that is how I grew up, basically, like around a small mission.
Yeah,
So
definitely Bishop was the point there to some people who may not be the best people to have right in Mexico City itself back in the day.
yeah.
Some priests like but have them close by just in case they get
Yeah. But lucky for you, a small like a mission being around here. Also, I mean, where else are angels gonna hang out?
Mhm.
100%.
Yeah. So let's see.
Can I
What do you guys?
volunteer, like, what some of the collateral damage might be?
Yeah. If you have an
Mhm.
idea, shoot.
Because, like, my barrio question was that, like, who am I checking out that, like, lurking around? And I think it could be that rival taco truck. Like, one or two of
Oh.
them
Oh
were, like,
yeah.
scouting out for hunting, and then we got there we got there later, but we're more and faster.
And it's our turf to begin with.
Yeah. Well, I think it's more like I like that, but I feel like collateral damage to me does with this move does imply like property damage. And I
Yeah.
wonder if they were like there's a small market outside this mission, so it's like a street market has kind of popped up outside this mission. And people are aware that this kind of thing will happen. That but like, it's kind of part of the job, right? If you have like a stall here. But maybe just maybe like in your fight with these angels, one of them definitely like fell from a high place and slammed into the rival taco truck.
Oh, they brought the
You
whole
know?
crew.
Yeah, like you guys, it wasn't on purpose, but maybe you didn't necessarily do everything in your power
Yeah,
to stop
100.
it.
Yeah, no. They
Yeah,
And
like an
like
wanna
angel
come
gets
at
shot out of
us.
the sky, maybe.
Yeah, an angel gets like shot out of the sky and falls onto their truck. And it's not like the worst damage ever, but 150-pound thing just
There's a
fell on their
dent.
truck.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
that'll buff
and
right out.
Mhm.
And I think it
eh,
doesn't help that its coddle like laughs raucously when this happens.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I think I'm guessing you guys are still transformed, which this is a good opportunity to describe what that looks like.
Yeah.
You guys can go. You guys have your three angels in hand, and you go to the truck for the fourth, and then one of the guys has like climbed up on the to the top of the truck, and he's grabbed it and he's like holding it. And he's like,
Nah.
who?
Mm. Yeah, and I think
Where?
Anna just leaps on top of the truck and just growls at him.
Oh, you
She's
motherfuckers!
yeah. I mean,
Oh,
we're at the level 2 of the
Why is he
transformation, which
Parkman?
is basically just getting like fur all over her. Very much teeth are sharpened, claws are very very present, and it is very much for the Jaguar is very much the kind of Wolfman type level of transformation. The level 2 is how it's described. So
Yeah. Um. he just sort of he goes, "You gonna pay for the dent?"
You're on our
I think
turf.
I'm gonna shout from the bottom that it'll buff right out.
It's an open market. You don't own the market.
I think its Coral is just like going, shit, the park there.
This is the prime real estate. It's right under the. It's got the shade, and like motions up to the top of the, like where the mission kind of like extends out.
Still shouldn't have parked there.
I think he sort of like he hops off the top of the truck, still holding the angel. And like says quickly pulls out his own like knife, and I think he very quickly transforms and
Oh,
he is going to basically just slice one of the wings off and be like,
nah. I'm not letting that happen. I'm gonna like bump him to get him let go.
hey, it's a finder's fee.
Nah. Not happening. Like the moment he gets his knife out, I'm 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 running in.
Yeah, I mean he won't really. He'll just kind of like toss it on the ground, the angel on the ground. Then,
We need this right now. Like I'm not sparing anything. And I know what they've been up to. They've been eyeing our turf for ages, so they might have already hunted like one or two angels while we weren't here.
Oh yeah, they're doing rather well right now. I think like there's a lot of customers and a lot of people are like staring at this and like confused, because most people know, the existence of angels is not a secret, very well known actually, but most people cannot see them. So as far as they're concerned, you're fighting over like something invisible that they can't see, you know.
Mhm.
Don't worry
and
about
they
it.
and it and the guy he's like, we'll we'll let it go this time if your little establishment is that desperate.
Doesn't matter. It's ours and our turf. It doesn't matter how desperate we are.
And he steps back into the truck.
Good boy.
But yeah.
I'm
So
gonna like
yeah.
physically push the truck a bit just to get him moving faster.
So yeah, let's get to the
What do the what do the three of you look like transformed?
yeah.
I think it's Cuddles like tattoos, like instead of like tattoos, like tattoo scales, they're like actual like there's like a shimmer to her skin. And I think well how like far on the animal features are we going?
So typically, even the early stage, especially if you have your mask, is like very, very animal, like
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the art from the book. Though it is a sliding scale.
Yeah, I think depending on the situation, I think right now, um, his like lower body is just like snake tail,
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
and it's like very large. I think um, like the size of like the lower body is just the size of like a tall person, and I
What
think their eyes are like slits.
Fuck yeah, I love that.
Mhm.
What about What about Miro? I'm always curious about what the bird. Anyone that transforms into something bird-like, I'm always very curious about. Probably because I read a lot of Animorphs as a kid, and those bird transformations were always particularly gross. Like, ugh.
I think that Miro is. I think that like on top of a building, like on the same block, there is what looks like an eagle perched. Um, where I think you can see his mask and stuff like that. I think on first examination, I don't think people would think of it as a person, just like a really big bird up there. But I think really like it's sort of like the old like duster jacket he's got and other stuff like that, sort of like fold over himself. Like it almost looks like it becomes wings.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
and I think he just sort of looks like he's just sitting there. I think on close inspection, you can tell this isn't a bird, but from far away, it just looks like there's a bird sitting there. Like I'm thinking
Mhm.
about like I forget which Studio Ghibli movie, but there's some Studio Ghibli movies where people transform into birds, but rather it being like a massive like sparkly thing, it's just sort of like they wrap a cloak in themselves and then like wings pop out. And I think that's kind of what Miro looks like.
I think the boy and the heron is like the big one, right? With the
Yeah,
No, that is more that it's literally just caught the transform by it crawling out of the bird's throat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
are you thinking of like Hal and Howl's Moving Castle? He kind of does that.
I think
Yeah.
closer to Howl.
Yeah.
But I think Miro's voice in the bird form is very similar to the heron's voice in the bird and the heron, or the boy and the heron.
Mhm.
Okay. Also the way you're describing like the way you're perched, I mean maybe it's the size, but I'm getting a lot of like honestly less eagle, more vulture vibes.
I
Mhm.
see it. I don't think that's inaccurate, especially the way that he only like jumps into stuff after he and like once it's safe basically. Um
Yeah, that's
Sick.
specifically the jaguar one there.
mhm.
Because that's
And then what about have we seen Adrian yet? Have we talked about what Adrian looks like?
That was my next question.
No. Yeah, my mask is made of steel, so it's quite hefty. And I think like the patterns on it, the reflective triangles just like continue throughout the head and the hands. And like they're already they're only 19 years old, but they've already got a hunch. It's just made much more obvious in the second stage. And claws, of course, much better to dig with.
Yeah, man, I have to imagine the armadillo in particular hunches a lot.
Yep.
That's
Mhm.
that's definitely how when I was playing this game, I played an armadillo, and in my brain they were full on like 90-degree hunch, you know, when
Yes, I am a
transformed.
ball,
Yep.
and I will
Yeah.
knock you out. I am.
So yeah, you guys are able to take your kills back to the cantina, mostly uneventfully, you know.
Mhm.
Um, so when you butcher ordinary angels at your Chingara to profit from their parts, roll with these questions. It's kind of the same thing. We go through questions and then you guys get an amount of bonus equal to the answers.
Mm.
So is everyone helping with the butchery? Take +1. Is everyone helping? I'm not gonna. Actually, I am gonna say Tony being not being here maybe does impact that
Mhm.
because he normally is here. Um. So yeah. Um. Do all the butchers each only have one or fewer conditions? Take +1, which yes.
Mhm.
So get +1. Did your hunt yield fewer than 3 angels? No. Are you pressured to meet a deadline? Take -1.
Yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
are. Um.
That makes sense.
So yeah. So who's like leading this? And you're gonna be rolling a flat die, just a flat 2d6.
I do think like learning from Tonio. Adrian probably knows a bit more of the butchery, but I don't know if maybe Miro has been around for longer.
Yeah, I could really see either. Or maybe it's one of those things that, like, you said that that Adrian's still kind of new. I wonder
Mhm.
if Miro's
Mm.
at this moment to teach Adrian like more of the complexities of butchering and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
this is a
maybe
perfect
Yeah.
opportunity.
yeah.
I think Itzcoatl was taught this by Tonio, but Itzcoatl was not paying attention.
Of course.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously those you should probably help out when a parent with a parent's kills at some previous times. But
Yeah,
I mean,
Itzcoatl in theory knows this stuff. Is just not as
Not
good as they
interested.
could be.
mhm.
And this is why they had to hire from inside the family.
Yeah. I think to keep in mind with this move before we do the roll for it is I'm gonna like read kind of like the little blurb, which is that this is not an easy task. A normal human would be driven crazy by it. Angelera sometimes pay a toll for doing it. This is a supernatural effect related to the nature of angels, but also from the fact that they are human shaped after all.
Mhm.
For all
Yeah.
those reasons, it is better to share the load and work on it as a group. So that's honestly partly more the thing about like, hey, is everyone doing it? Is it's kind
Yeah.
of about this just sucks to do.
Mhm.
Mm.
And I bet there are easier parts and harder parts as well. So
Yeah.
I bet that like if Miro's taking the lead, then I bet Miro's like, okay, well, like the legs aren't that bad. So like Adrian or It's
Yeah,
cool.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think that not Adrian. I think that Miro's explaining some of the tougher parts. Like I think he's like,
Mhm.
you might expect because they got wings that this would be like butchering a chicken, but it's nothing like that. And I think getting into a tiny bit more of the small gore here, I think he's like, unlike the like linear chest of the rib cage of an angel looks like a spider web. And he like
Ugh.
Mhm.
more butchering
Mm.
has you feel the like chests and stuff like that and see how the bones are splayed out just differently.
Mhm.
And he's like, and then you've got to do it like this. And he goes into very specific detail about how you would get that opened up. It's a bit complicated, but I think y'all are probably focusing on the easier stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I do think you could do it like that, or you could just do it like this, and she just tears it apart, tears the
like
ribcage apart.
Shout out to the person in chat who said thanks. I hate it. Me too. I
Yeah.
love this. I love this game. You know.
Thanks, I hate it, but with a colon D. So
Yeah. So yeah. So go ahead and do this roll a flat 2d6.
a flat 2d6. Okay. Flat roll
Yeah.
2d6.
okay.
A hit. All right. Thank God. I'll say that the miss here is really bad. Um. Uh. So. On a hit, clear your restock track. So you guys have a full restock now.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to get everything.
Mm-hmm.
On a 7 to 9, the work was unsettling. Everyone involves marks one stress, and tell me how it haunts you.
I think for Adrian, Miro is teaching me like a harder part, maybe like the stomach or something. There's a lot more to do there, and I haven't gone that deep before, and it's just a little squick.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think it's Itzcoatl like the hangover, and I think part of it is that normally she loves the smell of the liquor and whatnot, but right now it's just mixing with the smell of the angel blood, and the blood, just the smell she can't get it out of her nose. It just
Mhm.
lingers. And several times I think she goes out into the outside and just breathes in deeply.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
for Miro, I think that he doesn't usually do this, unless
Mhm.
if, like something else has gone wrong. Like he's like the second butcher of choice, basically. So I think it's
Mhm.
actually been a while since he's had to lead this. And I think because it's such a visceral experience, like physically, emotionally, even sensory, like the smells, the sights, I think even though he knows how to do this, I think it's just last time he did it, they were going through a lot. And the time before that, they were going through a lot. So I think
Mhm.
it's summing things up, and I think it's him realizing like, oh, this isn't something bad is going on. The fact that this is happening right now, this is not the ways things should be going. Something like the next shoe is about to drop. Something bad is
Mhm.
going to happen. So I think he's just full of a sense of dread.
Yeah. Can I? So if you're working on some of the harder parts, so I was an anthropology major. I ended up not finishing school, but the thing we actually talked about is um scenarios when people are forced into having to do like survival cannibalism, and the thing that always happens, almost always happens, is everyone avoids hands.
Mhm.
Um, Almost
Hmm.
no one, and I wonder if this is a moment where like you pick up this angel's hand to start doing some work, and then just like that, just dread immediately
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
um overcomes you in that way. Um,
I like that.
yeah. What about is that everyone? What about Anna?
Anna hasn't said anything.
Yeah.
Haven't said anything yet. So I think what it's getting for her is, I think it's in some ways it's similar-ish to Miro. I mean, she's done this more recently. Just generally not is always here helping out. I think a lot of it is just. I think it's less being haunted for her as more just being initially just annoyed. I know what she normally relies on Antonio to, parts she relies on Antonio to do, isn't here. That's oh yeah, the good jugs that we used to decant the things are just not in the right place and not cleaned up fully because Antonio didn't do them before they left, and he's just left us in the lurch a bit, and then that's just leading to as they're doing it, as she's just focusing, it's just leading to that sense of dread about what's happening, and just yeah.
Yeah. Has anyone not told me of this experience, scars though? I think that's everyone. Oh, sounds like it. All right. Um. Yeah. So you guys are, you able to get your restock. I have to imagine like, some of this gets processed into the stuff to make alcohol. Some of this gets processed into you're not primarily a food establishment, but you make food. Um.
Yeah, you gotta have something with the alcohol so you can drink more alcohol.
Mhm. I'm assuming most of the time that's normal food, but sometimes,
Uh-huh.
not everything has the angel meat in it. That's a premium. Uh,
Mm.
but definitely some
Uh,
stuff here. It's gotta.
yeah, just thinking of your parts which generally going to be messed up less by being drained of all the blood and things, and something which is we've already mentioned today as being something that we do serve and make.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you know that drink that they have? I think it's somewhere in Canada where there's like a toe in the drink.
What?
I think we have that.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh my
No,
god.
that's a that's a machismo bait. Make someone
Yes.
drink that just as a
Mhm.
Yeah.
The drink in Canada, what kind of toe?
Like a human toe.
yeah, like preserved
Someone's
toe that is
preserved
not pickled
toe.
toe. Yeah, it's uh, there's in a few places. Canada is one of the places. Generally, it's anywhere where there's like heavy industrial, like lumberjack stuff. That tradition gets around where
Oh,
someone's
okay.
someone lost a toe in in an accident, so we just shoved it in the whiskey bottle, and there we go.
This is a blue collar
The
machismo
sour toe
thing.
cocktail.
Okay.
Jeez.
This is not now that you said that it was like like a manual labor, like a blue collar thing. This is making more sense now. I was like, excuse me? I'm like, oh, never mind. I landscaped for years. I know the kind of I absolutely know the kind of guys who would do this. You know?
I don't know if it's a toe. I think it's something like weirder, like an eyeball or something of an
It's
angel.
one of these things where there's definitely multiple variations. The
Yeah.
the Canadian one is generally the toe, I think.
Yeah, well,
That's
that
how
but I
it
think
is.
ours the one at the Cantina being an eyeball I think is fun.
Yeah.
Because that's some less gross, but also more gross. Yeah, so you finish processing everything, and kind of like head back to the bar. And I'm going to say that we should do the expendio move. Some time passed. You guys got your
Yeah.
stuff back. We're gonna so let's see. So you roll with popularity. I think it should have been set at +1, I think.
Yeah, there's no
Which
way
makes
to mark it
sense.
on the
Yeah.
thing, annoyingly.
So who wants to roll this? Someone who hasn't rolled already before. Be rolling with you guys with popularity, which is a +1.
I think it's also makes sense given
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
suggest that.
they're very much
So-
the hostess for the bar.
Okay, can you remind me how to sorry, it's been a while since I've rolled on Roll20.
Oh, you can just type /roll 2d6 +1.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, that +1 really coming in clutch.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That was so close to the miss. I'm gonna say what the miss is, which is that your guys' investor has made a bad deal without consulting any of you. Luckily that doesn't happen, but yeah, geez.
Yeah. So is the investor Tonio's dad, or is it your another uncle for both a shared uncle?
I think it
We
was
don't
a
think we did.
shared. I think it was someone in the family, and I honestly forgot. So I think I have it written down somewhere, but I don't think it'll matter because I think the um ah hmm
So you pick one and we pick one on a 7 to 9.
yeah. So why don't you go ahead and pick one of these? Let y'all pick this first.
What are we picking from?
The
It
list
is
on
on
Expendio
yeah.
list.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the Cantina.
I'd like to suggest the Barrio connection.
I was going to suggest that as well.
Someone comes looking for help. Yeah. Okay. I like that one. My choice. I'll definitely have to take a quick look at that. If you guys gonna pick that one, I'm gonna say not that this one really matters for what we're doing with a one shot, but I think it is honestly the most appropriate, which is your service has been disorganized and sloppy.
Yeah.
Reduce your popularity by 1. You're a man down, and yeah, that's really it. You're a man. The owner has not been here for a while.
Yeah, and I think like it's Squaddle like still like the what we talked about with the butchery earlier is still like holding true. Like I think while she's like serving drinks or maybe like talking with customers, she just kind of like steps away a little bit from the drinks and is like unwilling to get too close because of the smell.
Yeah.
Can I get you something for that? Is there like what are some known, maybe not necessarily hangover cures because you've already had some of the food, but like maybe something to dilute the smell if I see that you're feeling unwell. Like I don't like your guts, but I'm
No, I
not.
think
You're still my my
Mhm.
sis.
I think that's something they do in like and I've heard for like people who like work in like hospital type situations is you put like a mask on and then you put like something like a smell on the mask so you can only smell that.
Oh, like plague doctor shit?
Mhm.
Uh,
There's a reason they did that,
Kind of.
even if they
yeah.
did more than it actually did.
And I guess I probably get some mint from behind the bar and like
Mhm.
I guess we have like some masks
Yeah,
from
just a literal
butchering,
posy of mint.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking through our questions here. Um. Hmm. You know what? It might be one of the guys from the taco truck again. Who I
Really here
think.
for trouble.
Well, they're here to ask for help. Because I think a few things kind of happen at once here, which is the little statue, the little owl statue you guys have.
Mhm.
That is Tonio's little magic owl buddy. Um, has started like freaking out. I think has been mostly still, not moving, just kind of chilling out on one of the bar shelves. Is like a piece of decoration for a while, but just starts like flapping its wings, knocking stuff over. Like everyone's just chilling at the bar, and then it starts, big wing flap, and then you just hear some glasses breaking and turn around, and it is it's losing its shit, right? Um,
Mhm.
and sort of at the same time, um, one of the pull up a name list here. And, um, um, hmm, maybe it's a David. Maybe he's a David. I think he's a David. Um, walks in. Um, oh my god.
Oh,
The
oh my god.
pun. But yeah, just he walks in, and he
Great.
is holding a weapon, but like not like at the ready, not like it's very obvious he's just been in a fight, like holding I think probably some kind of honestly, yeah, I think this guy is the kind of guy who had like a butchering knife and then also like a sword,
Mhm.
but like a mall ninja sword, essentially. And he stumbles in. His mask, which is a dog mask, I think,
Mhm.
is like cracked in such a way where it no longer would function.
Mhm.
Um, he is bleeding from his arm and like his head, um, and his like clothes are torn up, and he kind of wanders into the he limps into the bar. Um, and I think do you guys have like
I-
saloon doors? This is an important question.
Why
Um,
not?
Tonio insisted on it. I would say because
Of
he,
course they
I
did.
I insist on it, honestly.
yeah.
You
So
know
yeah, so
what?
like
I bet Tonio put them in themselves himself.
Mhm.
yeah, so he like opens, he opens the door, he like limps in and I think falls over, and then the doors, they swing out when he walks in, and then they swing back, and then you see a Angel standing kind of on the other side wearing SWAT gear.
Hmm.
Um
Jeez.
and has a like what is like the police equivalent of a flaming sword?
Oh,
Is it like I
I
think
think
it's
like a stun baton kind of thing, wouldn't it be? That's
Yeah.
yeah, I think it is a stun baton that is crackling with a like very visible electricity.
hmm Yeah, I think
Very hot take.
Anna already standing up and growling when Davy comes in, and then she's the angel and is just very much
Yeah, I think until the
on
angel
edge.
arrives, its Kotal is just like lounging, but when the angel comes in, its Kotal is like on their feet,
hmm
mask in hand.
Yeah, and I think maybe this is a good time for like a 5-10 minute break.
Yep.
We were going for a while, and
Thank
I was
you.
yeah, I was like I wanted to finish up our the Cantina stuff real quick
Yeah.
before we did that. Um, yeah. So we'll be back in like 5 or 10.
Yeah.
All right.
Hello, hello. I think we're back. I hope we're back.
Yeah. Huh?
All right, we look back. Good.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Ah, okay.
And yeah, we've got one more donation in here from Ari, another £25. Thank you very much.
Yay.
And that's now near, and yeah, getting us to 1900.
Yeah, we're creeping closer to the second goal. It looks like.
Yeah, it's just
Um,
Yeah.
800 to go. Hopefully, we'll get that. Might even get that tonight, given how we jumped up a bit overnight last night.
yeah, I mean,
It's
the morning
Saturday night.
hours. The morning hours, they don't
Thank you,
expect a whole
Ian.
lot. You know.
Hmm.
Yeah, and Ian aside, I don't expect a whole lot in the
Yeah.
morning hours. But yeah. So, a professional rival just stumbled into your cantina, immediately followed by a spotting a warrior angel outside.
Yeah.
What are you guys gonna do? Because I don't know if the angel's gonna actually walk into the bar.
An angel
Yeah.
and a adversary walk into a bar.
Hmm.
Yeah, it does sound like the start of a bad joke.
Yeah.
Well, I think I don't notice anything from the back because I'm
Hmm.
still cleaning up after all the work we just did. But I think if I hear some noise at the moment, I trust Anna to handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yeah. So.
it's Coda looks to you like, do you want
Mhm.
me to handle it my way or do you want to handle it your way?
Yeah, I think as you looked at, I think Anna's already putting on a mask.
Ho ho!
I also think not a lot of people react to this because someone stumbling and hurt to a bar doesn't necessarily around
Hmm.
here in particular for an Anhalera bar doesn't necessarily warrant a lot of like
Hmm.
reaction, and a lot of people who are not Anhaleros cannot see the angel.
Hmm.
But you know who can here is Okaido can, who immediately does everything in his power to make himself very small.
Uh-huh.
Aww.
Yeah.
Like kind of buries himself in like the menu, I think. Like tries to pull the sitcom, I pulled the newspaper over my face like
Hmm.
thing. Um and Ramana in particular also I think sort of he doesn't make himself small. I think he draws a pistol. Um
Hmm.
and is like um I I told you.
Let's get down
I
to
told you,
business.
Don. And Don's like, you're not gonna do anything about that, bud. He's like,
Hmm.
no, I told you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Anna puts on the. Yeah, I think Anna puts on the mask. She, from probably like a little cabinet just by the side of where she's usually sitting. She like grabs the she gets slides the mask on, grabs the heart of the earth, a little cabinet bites into it, and then just shifts. And
Yeah. I have a question for you actually, which is this are you actually is this actually not just summoning, are you unleashing?
oh
Because the way like threat works in this game. I think even with Apex Predator, this angel is like a tier above you.
Okay, so it's not just a normal warrior. It looks definitely
No.
bigger than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a little context, the taco truck's like main mechanic is that they're being hunted by like elite angels.
Okay.
And that was kind of the inspiration here that like, what if they got actually?
Okay. Yeah.
Serves them
Pop the
right.
unleash up there. Okay. Yeah.
They
You
just
put yourself
had to
over your
bring the trouble
highest.
to us.
So you would put yourself to tier 3. You would mark a condition and you would roll. And you would add a +1 because you ate a heart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely unleash here.
Hell yeah.
Let's see how that goes.
Holy
Hey.
shit! Full hit.
Hey.
What?
Yeah. And
What
let's put the how they've got
condition?
+1 in, so it's not. Yeah, I think right now Restless makes the most sense.
Restless does make the most sense. Okay.
Yeah.
What does unleashing here look like? Because in my mind, this is always like very Super Saiyan coded. You know what I mean? Um, but you tell me.
Yeah. So what happens is, she. I think before she even gets a good look at the angel, she's already like reaching for the mask and grabbing the heart, and then she sees it, and then and then she like narrows her eyes and just pauses for a second, and then it just kind of ripples out from around her. Actually, Rosa, do you have anything that Mira may see here which is going to remind him of the prophecy as she's doing this?
Yeah, I think. How would you characterize her actions here? Like, do you think that it's particularly savage or graceful or
I think, yeah, I think you just. I think she was, like I said, I would have said, she was like growling already to begin with when the guy came in, and then I think it is just the snarl just kind of echo. It's not the full on roar yet, but it is still like echoing throughout the cantina.
Yeah, I think that might be it. Like, I wonder if like there's like the ambiguity here about what people who aren't connected with all this stuff can see and recognize. But I think that the more typical patrons are able to recognize and hear what's going on here. Like, I think that you're having a
Oh,
bigger
yeah.
impact on the like lived space than the rest of us are as anheleros. And I think Miro sort of being perceptive, like he's keeping his eye on the angel, keeping an eye on the combat, but also is like, oh, everyone else here is like, people are looking at you specifically. And that's weird. Because usually people just sort of like, don't like ignore this stuff, but it's not as focused. So
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff you've done with the prophecies, like linked to tech. Why can't I say it? I think Tech Poker, who's also as well as Knight and Jaguars and the North and all the other bullshit, is also Hurricane. So I think wind like picks up in the cantina.
Yeah.
That's good.
I like that. Yeah, a lot of wind picks up. I honestly also think maybe like, I'm not sure if this is just you or if this is like the two of you, right? Like you and the angel. I do think some of the supernatural, like someone's glass just shatters in their hand, right? Kind of deal. And the second that starts happening, like people start taking. This is where people are like, "Oh shit," and start taking cover. I think this is the first time our ex Enlario here, Juan Grande realizes, oh shit, this is bad, and he like for a brief moment, you see like Miro especially would see like a flicker of the old Juan Grande, and then he realized, no, this is like too much for me, and he would immediately like throw up a like flip a table, and then he would like grab some patrons and like pull them behind it. But that's all he could do. You know, and I think Roman, our he drew his service weapon, and he's seen some shit. He is a federal agent, and he has seen some shit, and he can see this more than most people. He can see this supernatural, but I think it's the first time he's felt something like this, and he freezes. So he is just standing at the bar, like gun drawn, frozen in place.
Yeah. So now, and then as all the wind and everything, and the growl kind of like dips into like subsonic frequencies, as she shifts, and the mask just then fully, it's a very traditional looking Jaguar mask. It's very much with the weird tusks that make it look kind of boorish as well as on top of the Jaguar bit. It's there, and it just kind of like fully melds into the face. All the clothes just like merge into there. It does have like these spots, start up here, but a lot of the spots are in the shape of the unit patches and rank markings on the jacket.
Oh,
rather
hell
than the traditional rosettes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I'm guessing this isn't a sale of someone. I'm guessing that there is maybe about to be some hands being thrown.
I think first, right here, she's just gonna roll, and then a sale.
Oh yeah. You have Hear Me Roar. Yeah, go ahead. And, do that roll. That's probably appropriate here because yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, yay. Okay.
Can Adrian, like, upon hearing the roar, like, or even before that, the growl, like, just pop in and, also, probably not going to unleash, but just summon?
Yeah. Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Yeah, just in case something goes wrong, yeah.
Though a thing to remember about you will still have the opportunity to unleash if you need to, but like kind of part of this game's combat with the whole like making a pack thing is if Ana is on, you cannot make a pack with people who are like too far lower in threat level than you, and because Ana already has +1 threat just for being
They're at
the
4.
Jaguar. Yeah, they're at like you guys would need to unleash to make a pack with Ana with Ana. They're too.
Okay. I imagine I know that, so then I will
Yeah.
unleash as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I might just handle this shit, is always a possibility. So if you want to wait on it, like, you don't have to right away.
Yeah.
But
you
like,
can always,
if
things go worse, then you can always step in and help out.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, you can still help out with like the intervene stuff. Like, there's still other ways to help out that are not forming a pack. But that's the thing I wanted to throw out there. Like, if you do, like, if this is hey, everyone's jumping into a fight, you cannot form a pack with her because she's too strong.
Yep.
This is more like my code and defending my people.
Yeah. There's definitely like a lot of opportunities for a lot of collateral to happen.
Yeah, so I don't want that.
Yeah, but
I think this is definitely as well part of my relationship to you. You're here just in case this is the exact time where it could go wrong.
not gonna let that happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So does anyone before I get into how this could go very fucking horribly wrong, does anyone want to intervene to help in some
What does
way?
that? Yeah. What does
So
that entail?
you mark stress to give a +1 to their roll. You can also mark additional stress to so here it is. So when you intervene in another PC's action, mark stress to give them a -2 or a +1 to their roll. Mark an additional stress to also keep your meddling hidden from your target. Avoid exposing yourself to the cost and complications. Set up another character with an opportunity. So, so if
Okay.
someone wants to spend a stress or more, you can help. You can help out here.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. What does that look
Actually,
like?
one thing here, I had to put the +1 in there to do the. This is actually a 5, not a 6, because it did clear the forwards that I added for the thing. So intervening isn't actually going to help.
Oh shit. Okay. Well,
All right.
now
Never mind.
now
Then.
we yeah, now we know. Um so I think what happens is Angel does step in, right? Like I think this roar is you roar loud and all the power in the building goes out. All the lights notably shut out.
No, stop. I'm wrong. Both
You're
counts
wrong?
here. Very wrong.
Okay. Let's see.
The forward didn't even count for the for the unleash,
Oh.
because I put it in, but you need to tick it to use it. So that is actually, this is more than
Yeah.
this is.
You have gotten a
Okay.
12 plus.
Yeah. Okay. So that's.
So you were threat level
We're at level 5.
4. You're threat level 5. So actually they just couldn't form a pack with you.
Yeah.
Nope.
Like period actually. I want to point out that threat level 6 is the highest you could be. And I will like kind of no matter what happens, I think with that knowledge, all the lights in the room do go out, and I don't think it
Yeah.
is the power. I don't think this is the power went out. I
Mhm.
think this is these are like what's the word for the light bulbs that are like heated by fucking coils, the ones that you are not supposed
Filaments.
to use anymore. Filament. You
Yeah.
could people could see the light getting sucked out of the filament into your mouth.
Yeah.
As you roar. Like the light, like it is
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
like no, I thought I had an example in my head, but I actually lost it. Because the fifth, I mean, you're not in the fifth stage, but
Mhm.
you're getting there. You're technically in the fourth stage, or higher, and
Yeah.
the powers begin to get weird. Um, so yeah, so all the light in the room goes out. Is this still a 6?
Yeah. That's still a 6. Then
So
that
someone
is a
can
6.
intervene.
Someone can intervene. Yeah, and
Okay.
I think just do the changes because it's for the full Nahual stage here. It is not just clothes merging in and the full on spots and coat of fur. She is just a following Hakawa right now, just entirely. The bit still got these spots in the shape of the rosettes are still in the shape of the unit patches and things, but fully just a gigantic Jaguar for 100%.
Yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, just vague, maybe slightly more muscular torso. Maybe the cause is that slightly fingerish, but yeah, if you just saw her, you would just think, oh, that is no, that's not a human at all.
You'd be like, that's one fucked up cat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So is anyone gonna intervene here to save the 6 from a failure? That's the thing we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I think I already did press the move, so
You
that
did.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
Anyone could do it. Whoever wants to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other thing though is, does this count as using my vice, like when you jump into danger without a plan or forethought?
Tell me what you're gonna do.
I think like noticing that Anna is going all like beyond all out.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much, I'm not going to stop the one-on-one, but I am doing anything in my power to immediately like jump into like any collateral attacks. Like I'm not going to
Okay.
like plan it, but like the moment anything happens, I'm just going to go in like with face first.
Mm-hmm.
Take it.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that will, because I think what happens here is so all the lights go out, and then you see the angel in the doorway throw something into the cantina.
Oh shit.
And it is turns out the light going out was good for what they're about to do, because I think they're throwing in like a flashbang.
Ooh.
And I think this is do you like fucking jump on the flashbang?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course.
And like it helps, but that's not a pleasant thing.
No kidding.
So let's see. They on the 7, so on a hit they fight or flee, their choice. Those who take +1 on going against them. Unwanted attention or a new threat. So I don't think that like particularly does any harm to you, or if it would be light harm, which you just negate by being the armadillo.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean it's pleasant, but I think the
I have a new form of tinnitus.
yeah,
Tinnitus?
Mm-hmm.
tinnitus, yeah. You we'll circle back to this unwanted attention
Mm-hmm.
as the angel
And
decides
the
to
full Nahual Jaguar just roars in the middle of the.
yeah, as this warrior angel decides fuck it, we ball.
Mm-hmm.
Even though as like I don't think he is quite put together yet that he is a threat level behind you now.
Mm-hmm.
Which in this
Yeah.
game is pretty major, actually.
Yeah.
Being one above or below is kind of huge.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chance you could like one shot him here, which will be terrifying if it happens. Yeah, I want
I
to
don't
know
think
what
there's a
is.
chance here. Is the thing, because just looking at the 4-stage powers here.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's 2 stages. Vulnerable is 2 stages below, right?
Yeah, well, your threat level is level 5, but you are still technically in stage 4.
Yeah, but it's vulnerable is if they're 2 threat levels below, not
Yes, but yeah,
1.
vulnerable is
Yeah.
2 threat levels below, not
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
1 is still
So
really
that's it.
bad, but
Yeah,
it's
but
still technically
yeah.
winnable. I want to know what it's Koldal is doing and Miro is doing during all this.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Before
think-
we do assail someone.
I think it's Cordula's going to the like injured rival and is sort of like escorting them away.
Nice. Good.
Mhm.
And I think yeah, exactly. I think just trying to escort them away and like try and get information out of them at the same time.
Yeah. Is that? I don't know if this is I normally would say this is an avoid trouble, but I do think Anna's making such a fuss that that's not a thing that is necessarily required here.
Mhm.
But do you maybe want to like figure someone out on them?
Ooh, yeah.
I will. Do you think this is like I could have enough time here if I'm like put myself out of the fight to do Encanto?
I don't know about Encanto, but you definitely could do Hypnotic Eyes.
Actually, I think I'm gonna do what I was just thinking about from the start, which is I think I transform and I transform. So I mark stress for that, and I roll, right?
No, you don't roll unless you're unleashing, which is to push yourself really hard. And so you
Yeah,
take.
I don't think I'm doing that.
You don't need
Mhm.
to take a stress if you eat an enhancer, which you do have 2 of them. So you can.
Yeah, I'll eat an enhancer.
Yeah, eat a heart of the earth. We can assume you
Yeah,
just have these on you at the bar, especially, and your mask
Mhm.
and
and
I
stuff.
think I say like you could use a little pick me up, and I think like he like flashes his fangs.
Ugh.
I want to use Veneno here.
Mhm.
Oh,
Technically, I
oh,
can heal.
yeah. Oh shit. Okay. Um. Hmm. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead and roll that. Um. Roll. And you pay stress to do this. So you roll with the amount of stress you pay.
Yeah, I'll just +1. Did that go through?
I don't see
I
a
think that
roll.
go through. Okay, I'll
Mhm.
try again. 2d6 +1. Oh,
David's no
it's
good,
not.
very bad day.
Mhm.
I don't know why that's not.
Just try clicking the flat roll button on the sheet. See if
Yeah.
that goes.
Yeah,
That. If.
there we
Okay.
go.
So that's a
That's a
9.
9.
9.
So you hold one.
Nice.
So you can do one of these things.
Yeah, and I think I'll heal a wound by decreasing
Yeah.
it 2 steps down.
Yeah. So I think he had a deadly harm, like which gets reduced to a he had a heavy harm and a deadly harm. I think you get this guy off death's door is the point.
hmm
And he sort of I mean, what does this look like? Where do you bite him?
Like I think it's in the back in the kitchen, and I think it's it's a very intimate scene, I think. Like she's holding him very closely, and it's right like a vampire bite on the neck, I think.
Mhm.
Okay. Um yeah, I think he goes from not being able to hold himself up to kind of falling back into the um falling back into something in the one of the tables in the back for prepping food,
Hmm.
and he is just you can tell he wants to ask what the hell did you just do to me, but doesn't uh is just maybe a little overwhelmed with everything going on, um so doesn't quite get there. um
Yeah, I think she's licking her lips from the human blood.
ugh.
Yum. I mean, we're
Yeah,
drinking angel's blood, no?
yeah,
Sometimes?
you know.
Mhm.
And
Delicacy.
I'm curious about Miro. We can
Yeah.
cut back to what's happening back here in a minute here. Yeah, what is Miro
That was
doing?
insane. Yeah. I think that Miro. I think because of the stress of today, I think Miro was caught off guard by all this happening, and that's something that very rarely happens to him. So I think for the first like a few bits, I think he literally just freezes. Not sure what to do. Oh god, everything's happening at once. But then I think once that he sees that Anna's really getting into the fray and doing stuff here, I think that he focuses up and is like, hold on, I need to actually do something. So I think Miro would like to use the move, Bird's Eye View. When you observe a charged situation from a distance, roll with Instinto. On a 10 plus, hold 3, 7 to 9, hold 2. On a miss, hold 1, and take -1 forward. So I imagine this is like if there's like a window in the kitchen so you can see into the like main area of the cantina. I think it might be
Oh
one of those
yeah,
situations.
where people
Um,
take orders or people put
y-
the food out, kind of deal. One of those.
exactly.
Yeah.
So um, I think I just roll then.
Yeah. You just roll that.
Okay, instinct. I'm gonna do a flat roll, so it's gonna be +2.
Oy.
Six
Well, I
plus
mean, you're
2
still.
is 8.
Oh. Okay.
Oh
Fair. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh,
I
scary.
I just I just saw the blood on the screen and went fuck.
Um,
But yeah, an 8. Okay. Tall
7 to
2.
9 hold 2.
Hell yes.
I think that there's like a list of things I can spend hold for. Um, I think I'm gonna spend one of them right now. I'm gonna ask you, Marakame, what is the enemy's true position? Because we know the angel came in. We know other stuff here, but like, why are they here? What are they hoping to do? Can I ascertain anything around that here?
Um, yeah, you can. And I think the thing you can ascertain is that so you were military. You uh Miro's fought in a lot of, like, maybe not all the wars, but a lot of wars,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Um there's a little bit of like old man Logan in him. Um
Absolutely.
and I think the
Mhm.
thing you could tell is that this is someone who is sort of acting in the role of a soldier.
Mhm.
And that there is kind of like um Mexico's undergone a lot of revolutions.
Mhm.
Um and you can tell that this is the way that he is moving is the ways that you've seen people act when they're trying to sort of put one down.
Okay. Um.
And you get the thought that maybe there might be an upcoming crackdown on like Adelera stuff. Like it's been like all the stuff you do is illegal, but like like no one really gives a shit. Um, and you get the feeling that that might be like winds are changing on that.
Mhm. 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 Um. Geez. Yeah. 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 I think that that's scary. Um. I feel like then with that information, I think that um, is there anyone else with this angel, or is it just the angel here?
It's just him. It's just the
Okay.
one guy in the full like. There's also the with the Angels in particular, you know that they do operate like, especially nowadays, very similar to police and shit, but they do still have that like they have a lot of that like European night nonsense where they're also someone who is going to be like, I'm going to do all this alone. Like I am the fucking I am the warrior of God. I can do this on my own. Like
Mhm.
warrior angels don't always necessarily act in teams because they are they bit egotistical as a bunch, generally speaking.
Then
Um,
I think what's gonna happen here then is Miro, as because Anna's still engaged in the melee with this angel, right?
yeah,
About to be.
yeah,
About to
and
be.
it's still someone who's definitely going to have to happen here.
Yeah, I think that Miro is going to line up a shot so that if Anna gets into a rough position, Miro can they can like take a shot against the angel when they're not expecting it and hope to give Anna the advantage here.
Mhm.
So that one is I guess create an opening or opportunity for an ally or for yourself to escape or advance. So I want to create an opening for Anna to advance here. That's the second hold there.
Yeah. Okay. Um. Yeah. So feel free to let's throw some fucking hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm Okay. Yeah, I think so. I raw the angel throws the flashbang in, and Aiden jumps on it, and then I just leap at him.
Hell yes. ahead and roll. Holy shit!
Oh,
Jesus
Jesus.
Christ!
Beautiful, beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do here? Shit.
I mean, I think the obvious thing here is just to inflict terrible harm, upgrade the harm one level. When it's already being upgraded because of the threat difference.
Yeah. That's a lot of harm. Um. um. He still gets to hit you hard back, but it's not. This is not an even trade. Um. Go ahead and let me. So get hit hard is something I always get mildly. Here we go. Get hit hard. Roll. Add your armor, if any. Jeez. Okay. Yeah. So you go ahead and roll it and have your armor added to it. So you have armor, right? It's +1.
Yeah, +1.
Sweet.
Okay.
And I think they're
Just keep it.
doing. They can only hit you with a single heavy harm here. Um, which is I think like you jump on them, and they sort of I mean I'm guessing you take them to the ground,
Yeah.
right? You jump on them, you take them to the ground, and this is the like they put something in between the angry jaguar and like they stick their stun baton in your mouth to keep you from getting the fangs around their throat, which doesn't feel great. But we'll actually see if you care. So yeah, go ahead and roll it.
Oh.
Ooh,
Oh
yeah.
no.
So you take heavy harm. Um, yeah, you can still choose to reduce harm by 1 level, but you'll be taken out of the scene. Yeah, so if you want, you can reduce the harm, but it's a heavy harm, right? So you 1 heavy harm for this, like you're still doing fine, all things considered. But I'm gonna get to choose off guard and flat-footed. I think the thing that you get caught off guard with is he pulls another flashbang out. Like you're on the ground and you have the you have
Not
the stun
this
baton in your mouth.
again.
He pulls another flashbang out, and this one doesn't go off in like it goes off, and it doesn't go off in the way that it, like blinds everyone in the building. It goes off, and I think you like end up eating all the light from the flashbang. And it's just a little too much for you.
Yeah.
Like you've never done this thing before already. And that's a lot of like energy to absorb. And I am going to let's see here. Off guard. I don't think this is like more harm. Is this a condition? I think this is frustrated. I think this is frustrating. I think in like this has become a haze that I think to you ends up making it feel like this is taking way longer than it should. Partly because of all this, and you're like, why isn't this guy fucking dead? Yeah, what is everyone else gonna do here?
I'm guessing.
The angels just have 2 deadly harm on it right now because that's
Yes. Basically, if it gets hit again, like the like this thing is on its last legs. Everything it's doing is everything he's doing is extremely desperate.
Mhm.
Would Miro be able
Yeah.
to kill steal?
Potentially. Yeah.
Just taking a shot and trying to finish off after that onslaught. I have, because Miro is transformed right now. Went from old guy behind the bar to bird behind the bar, and I think he just, like you said, that there's like the on the window, like the surface where people like put up the food to like grab. I think he's put his rifle on that to stabilize it, and I think he's just gonna take a shot. And I've got sharpshooter, so I shoot when I assail someone with a ranged weapon. I can roll instinto instead of gara.
Nice. That's always.
Mhm.
I
Alright.
love a good move like that.
I'm gonna roll another flat one, but it's another +2 on this.
Oh, nice. Full hit.
Full hit. Beautiful, beautiful.
I mean, yeah, you get the kill steal. And honestly, I think like due to your distance and with the weapon, I don't even know if you have to roll get hit hard here. I think Anna's getting the brunt of it.
Mhm.
So I think the way this scene looks is Anna's on the floor, like the flashbang goes off, and you see the light from the flashbang getting like it starts swirling into her mouth, and then
Jeez.
the angel just drops dead. I mean, there's the gunshot, but I don't even know if people really hear it over the flashbang,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
They just see like a gush of blood as bullet.
yeah, the angel just like was like on the floor moving, and now he's not. I think I also think you probably uh on the D transforms at this point. I think.
Mhm.
Is that fair? Is that appropriate? I think you kind of like
Yeah.
fall back to like your normal human
Yep.
form, and
Mhm.
all the lights turn back on.
Mhm.
I think Itzcoatl walks out and just goes, "Ah, what a mess."
Roman is still standing where he was at the bar, like pistol held in shooting position, but hasn't done anything yet, obviously.
Mhm.
And is just staring at the dead angel.
Mhm.
Honey, no guns at the bar, please.
I think he's just standing there still.
Mhm.
Probably like maybe you should like push his hand down.
Yeah, he's just stiff, and it's just. I think people start like getting up. Um,
Yeah,
I think
I should
one.
too. I think I'm still over the flashbang and kind of dazed.
Mhm.
Mhm. I think Juan Grande starts. He's like, here, let me. He kind of just helps like escort people out of the bar.
Oh, by the way, I think Itzcoatl is like is like holding the person from the taco truck. Like, I
Oh,
don't think
David.
Itzcoatl's letting them out of their sight.
Good
Yeah,
point.
that's fair. Yeah, they're still. I think they're like limping around, but he's walking. Um.
Yeah, I think there's like a grab on like the arm.
Mhm. Yeah, so Juan Grande kind of helps you get people out of the bar. He's done this sort of thing before. Um, you know, to give you guys some space to deal with this. It's just fucking happened. Um,
Yeah, I think for the I think burnt mouth makes sense for the description for the heavy harm. Yeah, as Anna transforms, you can just see just massive like burns just all over around her mouth and face.
hmm
Is there anything we can do about that? Like how do we recover?
I can do something about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can do something about it. You can
Yours is
also
risky.
You can also just take some restock. You can just have a drink.
Oh
Yeah, I mean, technically in fiction, we do have like we haven't butchered yet. There's
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah,
we'll just
no,
restock with that, you know.
yeah. Well, you just have a drink. You've butchered. You've not like processed. So that takes some time, but
Mhm.
like you have the restock. You could just eat like angel meat is like restorative,
Mhm.
right? So if you take 2 restock, you can get rid of all your harm.
Mhm.
And we just
Dawn
put
can
this
whip.
fresh meat.
Yeah, Dawn can just whip you something up real quick. You know,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
that'll help. Um, and I think Dawn is like, did you just kill a cop in my bar? Notably, not his bar anymore, but
Mhm.
like, he just looks over to the.
I mean, technically, it was just outside, so. But I don't think Anna's in.
Started it.
Right now, I don't think Anna's in mindset to be able to talk. Not just because of the burn. I think just because getting jumping all the way to the full Nahual is a lot for the first time.
Yeah. Like I said, very Super Saiyan coded, and that moment in particular, very Super Saiyan coded. um. So, even down to it being kind of scary the first time, Uh. Yeah. So what are you guys gonna do with this fucking dead SWAT officer, dead angel?
It's
Kodo
perfect.
reaches down, pulls off like a large feather, and just puts it in their hair.
Oh my god. Oh.
Well, I was gonna say if Anna takes some of the restock, now we've got stuff to refill with.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have time for the butchery right now. We
Mhm.
have,
We don't
and I
need
think,
to, but we have fresh stock now. Why not? But first thing, we should definitely ask what's up with this situation.
yeah, I think like it's Kodal just kind of like pushes the guy from the taco truck forward and just kind of like, well,
What do you mean well?
I think Anna glares at him.
What
Yep.
what do you
I
mean
think-
well?
Yeah, as Anna,
well,
as Anna comes to, I think she glares at Miro because I think she definitely realized what he did, and then at David.
And he's like, what do you mean? What did I do?
you brought a cop into our bar.
He was gonna kill me.
Yeah,
Why?
and now you owe us quite a bit.
I mean, that's fine.
Mm.
That I
I agree.
expected.
Why?
Sorry. I'm sorry. I missed that. The GM.
Yeah, we
No,
did
I
kind
was
of
just
a lot at once. Sorry.
no, I was just
Okay.
agreeing with Miro's why.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. They said
think-
something about. They said something about something about and he's thinking for a moment. Sorry, something about like missing tools.
Has the El Brije been going off?
Oh yeah, yeah, yes. I think it's still like. I think he's like flown off the little like shelf on the bar and to the like onto the bar proper, and its head is just spinning in like
Yeah, like
360,
we've
just
been
like almost
distracted.
like a siren, you know. Yeah, and he's like, they said something that just they're looking for something, and I don't know what.
Okay, but I think with the Albrije going off and the mention of tools, surely we can figure it out, right? And the
Yeah,
fact that Tanya's been gone a little bit longer than they should have.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're definitely talking about Tanya's tools. In fact, you
Mhm.
if anyone is going through the stuff that the angel had, which I'm guessing maybe someone was,
Mhm.
they have a warrant for like a court signed warrant for Tonyo's arrest.
Oh, good job,
Ooh.
Tonyo.
Dios mío.
And
Good
I mean
job.
and David and all you. Um Kind of honestly all the
Mm.
and one honestly a lot of the Analeros they have warrants for.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Almost all the active ones. I think maybe the only one they don't is Miro, and I'm just imagining that's because Miro does not have like
Mhm.
paperwork.
Present. Yeah.
A government
Not on the
identity.
grid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't live to 200 years old by getting in trouble. You stay quiet.
yeah. And also, I mean, anything's off at this point. Anything's off the books now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're legally dead somewhere.
Yeah. So you don't have any warrants for your arrest, luckily. Everyone else does. Um,
Well, that's not great.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, let's do something about it. Tonyo's obviously in trouble.
Mm.
Again.
wait, I think he goes. Wait, the little kid.
Yes.
Yes, the 32-year-old kid.
I think David thinks almost everyone. I think David thinks that you guys are kids too. I think David's a little older.
Mhm.
He's old dog man. Not quite old bird man old, but
Mhm.
Getting there.
Yeah, I guess.
Mhm.
He sort of shakes his head. I have we gotta do. That's some work I gotta do. Um, hey, keep me updated, yeah.
Oh, we'll be in touch.
Yes. Like I
Um,
said earlier, you owe us.
oh no, he says. I understand what's happening. You owe me, and he walks out the
No.
bar.
Anna grabs
No.
him.
Good.
He's gonna attack you then. Because I think when you guys were like, "Oh, Tonyo," he knows enough about Tonyo to know that they were looking for Tonyo's tools. Like he's able to put that together. Um, and he pulls out his I think he pulls out a knife and is going to swing at you and
Mhm.
says, "Two of my friends are dead because of you. You owe me."
And you're alive because of us.
Me
I
You
in
can take that
particular.
back.
That is not how this works. You get people killed in the neighborhood. That's on you. If you want to be specific, then Tonyo owes me, but he's not here.
Can I use the hypnotic eyes? Do we count as human and like do we count
Yes.
as humans with
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Okay, then
You
I
were
would like
humans.
to use the move hypnotic eyes.
Hell yeah. That's fucked up.
Yeah. So you're still transformed, right? It's only Anna that
Yeah.
shifted back.
That's 2d6 plus 2, I believe. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, still not. Okay, whatever. Roll,
I mean,
flat roll.
yeah. That's
You,
a.
you you can also just click on the
Oh, there we go.
the stat, and that will give you
Oh, okay.
Oh, whoa,
well,
whoa.
it's lagging and
Oh.
it's doing it a bunch.
It's doing a bunch. Okay.
Let's just go with the first.
The
one.
first one, which is a hit, yeah.
Yeah.
7,
7, 8, 9. So that's a 9.
yeah.
Hit plus 2. And I think, yeah, it's Kotal just looks in his eyes, and I think, yeah, he just gets distracted. I think he like trails off in the middle of a sentence.
Yeah.
And
Which of these are you picking?
I can erase a simple memory in their mind. I think it's the memory of us saying what happened.
I gonna be on.
Mm.
I don't know if that counts as a simple memory.
Mm.
I think this is like the people that he has known and loved his entire life are dead because of something
Oh,
he
I
just
don't
found
think
out.
like, he doesn't remember like that. It's the part where we say, "Oh, it was Tanya's tools."
I still
he
don't
doesn't
think that
remember,
counts as
but
a
yeah.
I still think that carries
Okay.
enough emotional weight that does not
Mhm.
like that does not count. Like these things are all wrapped together now.
Mhm.
All right. Then I think it's just a one-word command, which is calm.
Yeah, he
And
refuses.
then he marks heavy harm.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
he rips his arm away from you and probably probably ends up hurting, like ripping the wound that he has open. And he is going to just continue to leave.
Yeah, no, he's not.
And you are gonna have to like actually really hurt him. I think
Mhm.
if you want to stop him from leaving.
Yeah.
Which like you guys you can do, but I think you have to like he has friends to go bury, so this we don't need to like get into the stats of it because you all of you guys as a pack are put him in a vulnerable position.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, this is kind of a fucked thing to do if you guys want to do it. But
Mhm.
you can if you want to stop him from leaving. But he won't be conscious, I think.
Mhm.
So is what's your plan?
Unless anyone stops her, Anna definitely is.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
what do you?
I think it's Kotal is helping you here. Like I think it's Kotal like is taking out a dagger and is getting ready to like bury it in his neck.
Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah. Like, so I mean, if you do that, you kill him. Um, like you're, yeah. If you want to do that, you just kill him.
I don't think I'm okay with that. I
Mhm.
don't see why he should be dead. Like,
I mean, if you bury a dagger in his
Liability.
neck, uh, so
If
no, I mean,
everyone
yeah, I don't
knows.
agree
Yeah,
with
I'd let's
the
have this
Yeah.
conversation like in character. I think anyway.
yeah.
I
Well,
think
like,
Anna.
what do you
Anna
think?
so I think the best. Yeah, I think Anna. To have the happen. I think Anna does grab him, stop. He pulls out of his quarter's grip. Anna grabs him again. His quarter pulls out the dagger, and then yeah.
I'm gonna stop it. I'm
Mhm.
gonna, yeah.
How do you do that?
I think I'm still armadillo form, so I'm just gonna block it with my arm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a
Um.
liability. If everyone knows that everyone's riled up because of us, we're going to be in trouble.
Well, then just tie him up. You don't need to kill him. Let's just deal with the problem. That's what we always do.
Tie him up and put him where? We don't exactly keep jail here.
The back room, don't we?
You do have the weird fridge.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
we do have a fridge.
I don't think it's a good idea to put any person in a fridge, but I'm sure we've got like storage space and shit.
Well, in fair, he is like a dog man. So.
Mhm.
Yeah. Also, I
Um.
think it's like a fridge that's like specifically used store like dangerous stuff. I bet you like
yeah. It is a fridge that I think you could stick him in safely.
Mhm.
Or rather, he would be safe in there. Yeah, he would be safe in there. He would not. If you stick him in the fridge, he's not gonna freeze to death. I don't think.
Mhm.
Maybe like non-supernatural people might run that risk, but I don't think he does. I don't even think it's that uncomfortable, honestly. As long as he ends up as long as he can transform in there, which he definitely can.
Mhm.
But he
Yeah, I think
he this whole time he is trying to get out of your grip. Can you have? I think this part does need to be a roll.
Mhm.
You should. Someone should be avoiding trouble here. I don't know
What's
who should be.
avoiding trouble? Like, what kind of move is avoiding trouble?
I think it's Instinto.
I want to say it's Instincto, yeah.
oh, whoops.
And I think.
I just wanted to look at the stat.
Oh yeah, you hit the you
The little
one
wispy
of the
thing.
button. Yeah, the little wispy thing sends the details to the chat. But I do think it's probably either it's Kodal or Anna to do the role. Considering you guys are like, you know, maybe it's Anna does the role and it's Kodal is helping.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. So because I didn't get to actually get the kill on the angel when it was down, I'm still restless. So
Oh man.
that is a 6, though. So
That
it
is a
can
6.
be.
Yep. So you were difficulty trouble. You were so. Let's see. Um.
I'm
Unexpected
helping though,
hardship.
right?
Yeah, you're helping, so it's a
Or
7
is
to
that
9.
plus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a +1. Yeah, so it's a 7 to 9. Um. I mean, I think the unexpected. Man, this is rough because it's like he's the dog playbook whose whole thing is about being like really deeply attached to the people in their life.
Mhm.
He would be the dog playbook. Um, to a almost suicidal fault.
Mhm.
And you guys are preventing him from going and getting involved. Um, to like give people proper rights.
I mean, it is mostly that because he is then claim that even though he brought an elite angel to our fucking door, we owe him.
Well, I mean, you brought them to kind of their door is the thing. Well, Tanya brought them to the door. The tools brought them to their door. Brought them kind of to everyone's door, really.
Yeah,
So
there's a difference between the general sense and then the active sense when they're on the warpath. And
I think this is a little. I will be honest and say I think this is a little more active than that. Like this is bringing a crackdown on the place in a way that is a little more active, than just that.
I wonder.
Which is why he's so mad about it. And I mean, I think the cost is that this is a thing that I will say, is going to mark, the haunted condition on if you do not let him go. Partly because I think he has begun like crying and howling, about how he has friends he needs to bury. And I do that, like holding someone away from doing that. I do not think is a easy thing to do emotionally.
yeah,
I
And if
wonder
you, so if
if
you can either let him go or mark haunted. And you go on. Sorry.
oh no, you're good. You're good. Is there a third path where we're like, okay, like we need to do the stuff. we're sorry about this, but if you want to do something, join us and help us get revenge.
Yeah, I think it is basically. Yeah, that's what I was basically going to say something similar there. I think she just says, because it's it's not. We didn't. Tonio put this on all our doors, on everyone's door. It's not. Yes, they got the first impact, and then they brought it into us. It is. We just need to deal with this rather than just letting this. If he keeps pushing on, blaming us, claim, wanting us to pay for what's happened, then that's just going to ruin everything.
Yeah, I think he's sort of like I think he'll sort of be like, listen, I'll think about it.
Get some rest and then come back to us. Do what you need to do.
You're letting him go now?
Just another, I'll think about it, and then he's sort of like,
you guys were like holding him back and then threatening, like trying to kill him, and now
It's called gives you a look. Like, we'll talk later, but I am very annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand you guys.
I think he sort of just like limps back out.
You've put a giant.
This feels
target
very
on all of our
hypocritical.
backs.
And yeah, what is your guys' plan here? You have a dead angel, Tanya's missing. Probably don't have time for a full rescue mission at this point, but I'm definitely
I think I'm
curious
just going to start butchering because I'm very upset at this turn of events.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, don't know if there's like a. Actually, no. I do
When
think
it's
there
just
is.
a one, that's a more negative penalty. I think it would just be.
It is, but I actually don't know if this is like the butchery roll. I actually think this might be, due to a few factors, another avoid trouble. Especially because from you if you're butchering.
Sure.
Nah. Yeah. I mean, I just think it doesn't go well. And there's gonna be like this last hour, like a little bit of time we have left here. There'll be like a. We will be circling back to that.
Yeah, I think as everyone goes, I think Anna just kind of slumps and just looks. Eats whatever has been brought up, so she can heal and just. It's kind of just.
Don brings you something. Puts a
Kind of.
Puts a plate in front of you.
It's kind of just glaring at Mira.
Itzcoatl is glaring at you, and I think is like sat down at one of the tables. There's like a half-finished drink that she just like grabs and starts downing, and I think like takes off their mask, like kind of peels it back. So like I think there's like a snake head that she sort of like peels back to reveal her face.
I didn't realize you would shed it like a snake skin.
That's so good.
That's so good.
I think I wonder here, because like you said, Aoife, that we don't quite have time for like the full jailbreak. I think that maybe the conversation we have in character is also similar to the conversation we have in person about this. Like, we don't have a lot of time. What can we do? What can we do to make things okay? Like,
yeah.
And I think that's both like on the player perspective, what do we think is the way we want to like close out this last hour of the stream?
Mhm.
And also, like for our characters, what do we feel is unresolved in this that we want to see our characters resolve here?
Yeah. I do think there's space for essentially like finding where like if a thing that would what's the word I'm looking for? If a thing that like both interest players and maybe is the thing that like the characters would want to do, um figuring out the exact sequence of like what happened with him is a thing that we could do. Um like, okay, how did Tanyo get got? Like, where is he now? Like, that is a thing, right? That is a thing that stays on the table, right? Or it could be kind of almost like the thing we hinted at, like maybe there's a little bit of like ally searching for, like that would be maybe the thing. Like, there's stuff to be done here.
Yeah, I think the big thing we need to is just get the arguments out of the way for the kill ceiling, and letting the guy go.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what needs to get done here from a dramatic perspective.
Yeah.
All right.
How did conversation with Miro go? Miro also saw you in so many words, eat the sun. So
Mm-hmm.
I think once again, I think Mira's gonna do the very old guy thing and not talk about it. I don't think he's gonna be the one to lead this conversation. um, uh, do you think that Anna would approach him on it or confront him?
If not, I think its Coda will probably prod the two into
Good.
it.
oh my
Yeah,
god.
I think Anna's just slumped across the table, just eating, and then just just as it's her mouth healing, just just looks at you and just says, "Why? I had it. Why did you have to intervene?"
Don't want you to get carried away. I think sometimes you underestimate how good you are, how powerful you are. You've got a patrons here it's dangerous, and you can do quite a bit. Don't get me wrong, you're very, very good at this kind of stuff, but sometimes you get a bit too carried away. And we needed this ended quick and fast, and that's what I did.
If I needed to just finish it. I couldn't just.
You need to learn how to channel this, how to focus your anger. If you don't, things will get a lot worse for us going on. We can see things are getting worse. This angel attack, it's not... This is the beginning of something. We need to be prepared. And you can't let yourself get carried away with small things about who gets the kill, who gets to finish things off. We work together as a team, not as lone jaguars in the jungle. And I think I'm activating my vice cruelty when you insult or demean someone you care about by pointing out their flaws or mistakes. Activate this vice. I think activating the vice lets me clear stress.
Yep, and one condition, which you don't have, but
Yeah.
Whereas I've got 2 stress and 2 conditions.
Mhm.
Would have had 3 conditions if I didn't let the guy go. It'd be completely useless.
But I think Mir probably just like raised up his hands like, okay, you know what? If you don't want me to intervene in your next fight and you want to die somewhere out in the middle of the desert, be my guest. But because I'm looking out for you and for this team, and because this town needs you, Anna, I'm gonna do what I need to do.
I
I think it's Kotal is like looking amused at this
mhm.
and just kind of like smiling now. I think like they started off as like being like pissed, and then now is just like enjoying like
Drama.
Anna being laid into.
Oh,
Mhm.
speaking of vices, I do feel like this has maybe gotten into the fact that you should tick indifference at some point here,
Okay.
Mhm.
because for everything with David, I think is gets into indifference.
Okay. I clear myself stress then.
While they are rival businesses, they are also like peers, and a bunch of your peers are dead, and you were like, oh, but that's a liability. I think hits indifference. I forgot you had that one.
I was thinking about it the whole time, but like I wasn't sure if it was activated or not.
Yeah. Yeah, typically like it's on y'all to kind of call the devices and for me to be like, oh yes or no on them. But I it was a while. I was like, oh, I should mention that probably triggered
Mhm.
a difference. Um, I think during this in particular, I think Dawn has disappeared into the back after
Mhm.
giving you the food. Dawn is like, I'm fucking out. Like
Yeah.
I ain't paid enough for this shit. It's above my station.
So, how does Anna respond to having Miro tear into her? Or alternatively, what is Adrian up to with all this going down? Like,
Mhm.
I think I was just like plunging the butcher knife into this asshole who fucked our shit up, fucked up our whole day, fucked up our store, fucked up our relations. Real mad.
Yeah, I think its Kotal is like providing commentary, which is not helpful. It's kind of like, oh, that's a bit rough on the meat, dear.
Mhm.
Wait, how are you in two places at once? Because I'm in the back.
Oh, sorry, you're in the
Yeah.
back. My bad. I
Yeah.
thought you were like butchering where you are.
Nah.
Threw him up
Sorry.
on the bar. No.
Yeah.
There's already too much mess that I'm gonna have to clean up. I'm not making
Yeah.
more.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You're doing this
One thing
properly, at
Yeah.
least.
I think one thing you do find when you're doing the when you're doing that in the back is you found all the like warrants for
Warrants.
arrest.
Yep.
I think you also find you're also able to get like some kind of ID off him.
Ooh.
A thing that could in the future come in handy. Probably won't during what
On
we're
the
doing
second
here.
season of Nahual.
Yeah, basically.
Mhm.
But I do think you're able to
So
pull
you
off
know what? I'm just gonna like the moment I see it and I see the warrants, I'm just gonna like, hey guys, get over yourselves. We should do something. I'm gonna wave the ID and the warrants around.
I like that. I thought that feels really right.
That does.
Mhm.
Like you just see that from the back, just the ID and the warrants.
I'm just gonna pop my head out and be like, hey, get over your own shit. Get to work.
I also think the ID has like God, does
Probably
it
an
have a
address
name like
or yeah, like a company name or a
Well,
prison.
yeah,
Or...
it has like a company name, I think for like a nearby private prison, but the Angel's name on the thing is like it's some shit like Mike Smith, you know, uh, like
Of course.
is what's on there.
Like we
Like that
need to do
you
something about
Mhm.
this. Let's go to
Mhm.
whatever prison. Tanya's probably at and give him the
Yeah, let's
talking.
go. Let's go. Let's get
Yeah.
him out of there as
We should
quickly as
probably do
possible.
that.
Clean up more of his shit.
Yeah.
All right. I imagine we've got like our own truck to haul like meats and stuff. So
Yeah, I believe Miro has a truck, right?
Mhm.
ooh,
Yeah, Miro,
Uh,
not a truck. It's like a dusty old Subaru.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
But it could still do it. Yeah, absolutely. This is
Yeah.
not the first time there's been angel courses in the back of Miro's car.
well,
No.
I'm not taking it with us, but
Yeah,
Wait,
we
do we
should
want
put
to?
it in the. Oh, no, I guess not.
Yeah,
now.
they're
got
already
the-
missing an
That would
arm
be kind of
and a
fucked up.
wing. It's kind of a mangled arm and a wing because I was doing it without instruction, but it's there. Or should we just take off the head and use it as a threat? No, it's not that kind of
Oh my-
game.
I it's that kind of game.
Mhm.
We had a whole
I
scene
think
about butchering and eating, like.
Yeah.
Well, because the thing is, do we want to stealth or are we just barging in or like?
I
What?
don't
Yeah, that's
think
the question.
Anna is particularly in the mood for self right now. With
All right, then I think I'm gonna hand the
but it's
butcher knife to Miro and be like, "Hey, we need this head."
All right.
Jesus
I
I
think
can
you
take
do
her
salute.
body.
Oh my god. I mean, you just have. I guess you just have an angel head in like a SWAT helmet.
I think in order to make it more obvious who they are, I'm gonna take off the helmet, and I'll also make the butchering and carrying a lot more unwieldy. So
Mhm.
I think we just want to be able to be like, "Hey, if you don't want this to happen to you, like get the fuck out of our way."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
very like Witcher. I think there's like a tie on it or something, and it's like on.
Oh my god! It is like when you strap the head to your horse in The
Mhm.
Witcher, but on your Subaru.
Yeah.
You do
Okay.
that.
Yeah. Wait,
I'm
does
taking my motorcycle.
Adrian have any vehicle themselves?
I don't think
Or-
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've literally just got a machete.
Adrian will like.
No, you have a
Adrian-
vehicle.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Toto will like offer the back of their motorcycle to you.
I'm down
They
to
don't
like
have a
just
second
hang in
helmet. Or
the.
actually, I don't think they have a helmet at all.
Mhm.
God damn it.
Road safety, and I'm gonna hand her the SWAT helmet. Hand you the
Oh
SWAT
my
helmet.
god.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna like wipe it with my hands and then hand you the SWAT.
Yeah, I mean, I think Anna's on her bike, and I don't think she's definitely not wearing a helmet right now, even
This-
if.
This feels like a almost like a what we do in the shadows bit. Like what a
Mhm.
like dark comedy bit. Give them the helmet. Jesus Christ.
And then I'm gonna get into the passenger side of this Subaru and then like just hold the head out when we get closer to the place
Mhm.
Jesus Christ.
because I don't see how we can attach it to the hood. I'm gonna do it manually.
Oh man.
I mean, I have a
Okay.
suggestion, which is maybe there's. Oh god, this is very gory. But there's an antenna on it.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know
Hold the
if
weight
that'll
of the
fit.
head.
Oh, we've
You
we've
just
lost our
pierce it
caption.
through, and
That's totally it's gonna do like the thing where there's like a wilting flower and boom. We might lose the head on the highway.
that's a
I
good
mean,
point. I
don't
don't think
do it on
there's.
the highway. Also,
mean, you just
that's the most.
Drill a
that's-
hole through the head and then stick it like through.
That's the most fucked up version of the like Jack in the Box fucking bobblehead things.
It's
I don't
not
know if
gonna
they do
stay on the
those
top.
anymore.
It's totally gonna slide to the bottom.
It's not gonna. Whatever.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what I mean. I that was my intent. Like you put it on the
Okay.
bottom.
Yeah, that makes a lot
yeah,
more sense. That makes more sense. Sure. But I think I don't want to bother bringing another vehicle.
Mhm.
but I mean, everyone getting the Subaru and the bikes, you know. Yeah, I guess you guys go into this prison. You have to go into, I think, like, go into Mexico City for it. It's kind of like not like downtown or nothing, but it is kind of like technically in the city limits. Kind of like just outside it, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bit of
We're
a
coming in
drive.
loud. Yeah.
And I have to imagine this is a very awkward drive. Like very awkward drive, very awkward ride. But you know, you guys are able to get to the front of the prison. Sort of like, I'm guessing there's always the little. I'm guessing there's like the areas where they would, like, when someone is let out, they would leave. Or it's a jail, technically, whatever, who cares? You know, sort of like the outside of the jail. And there's probably some like two normal humans on some towers who are like looking down at you. Like, I think they don't really necessarily immediately react because they're just assuming you're here to like pick someone up or whatever.
No, there's a head on a.
Well, they
There's a
can't.
head on a super.
Well, they can't
Yeah.
see
They can't
it.
see the head. Yeah, they can't see the
Yeah.
head.
Not yet.
Well, they're normal humans. They can't see this. So the two
Oh
guards.
shit! Yeah, no, you're
the-
right. Yeah,
The
sorry,
two guards
guys.
are just like, they just look confused. But I do think eventually people start, like, someone does. Yeah, that's camera.
Notice.
Someone eventually someone notices, right?
Yeah.
These two guys are just sitting there. They don't know what's going on. And then someone comes out, like a I think like a very tall, like blonde, like older blonde lady wearing a like a kind of I'm not sure if it's like a suit or if she has like a pencil skirt. I think she's got a suit. Tall blonde lady with a suit, kind of eventually like walks out the front door, walks up to the car. You definitely notice that she has seen the head, but she is not giving you a visible reaction. But you can see that her eyes like focused on it for enough that you know, like, okay, this is, if not an angel, someone who could see angel stuff.
Yep.
But considering she's like a white lady, it's like, okay, probably angel.
Yeah.
And see sort of like, she definitely has a pair of sunglasses on that she takes off, real like Men in Black style shit, right? And just sort of like looks you guys over in the car in particular. I think is sort of like not ignoring the people on the bikes, but is looks at the people in the car. I think specifically looks over back to Miro. And is sort of like, what are you doing?
What's the opposite of a deposit? Like, I know this makes the joke less good, but
A withdraw?
okay, we're here to make a withdrawal.
Is like, I assume you're looking for our Prometheus, referring to Tanyo, who's stolen tools from heaven.
Yeah,
just
sure.
as many of you as we can.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Either that or to kill as many of you as we can.
Okay.
Mira rolls his eyes at that.
I promise
And
you it wouldn't be many.
kind of giving Anna a look, be like, we can do that any other time. Right now, it's more about getting Tanya out and beating his ass.
True cousin behavior. And I think she sort of is like I am enter I'll entertain this. Why should we give him up?
Because otherwise, heads will start rolling.
Um,
Oh my god.
I think they sort of I think she kind of like shakes her head, shakes her own head, and is like, we don't mind throwing bodies at a problem.
Good, because there will be plenty.
Does anyone want to do a roll here to potentially figure someone out, or
Yeah.
I feel like make
this
a
feels
fuss
like
would be fun.
make a fuss?
Yeah,
Make a
I
fuss
think
would be
that's it.
fun. But yeah, it could be really any of these. Let's see, make a fuss. Yeah, feel free.
What does it involve? Oh, Manya. I'm no good
Manya.
at that.
Unfortunately, the one who's good at that is currently behind the cell. Is in the
I think Anna just, fixes her with a stare and just growls. For God's sake, why are they rolling so often on anything that's not just killing something? Even when it's
Can I offer my help here? Because I think it
Yeah.
makes sense from what I was saying.
yeah.
Yeah, it's also you roll a 7 because don't you have a 1 in actually?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why did that not add?
I don't know. It's not done that. I've been making sure to mouse over to check. These sheets are a little wonky. So yeah, so you get a 7.
Thank God.
On a 7 to 9, they aren't quite convinced. Tell you what it would take to make them give in. I mean, they want the tools back. If they get the tools back, you can have Tanyo. They'll that's what they want. They want the tools back. They don't really actually care that much about the people involved, right? They want their tools back. That's the number one, and they're gonna bust down every door until they find them.
I think we're past that.
Yeah.
We also don't have them on us.
Yeah, I mean, she would let you go get them. And I think she says, like we'll be reasonable. Bring us the tools, and you can have them back. It's as reasonable deal as any you'll get around here.
I don't think so.
You've killed too many people already.
Yeah.
They're not. We would not be using the tools for violence.
Oh no, you've killed too many people trying to get them back. Give us them.
Just sort of like
right now, you've killed at least 2 people. I've only killed 1 so far.
If you count them as a person.
it's a shame we couldn't come to a reasonable compromise. And I think she sort of man, how do we want to like
kick this off?
Well, the thing here is I think there's like if something kicks off, we probably won't have time to really properly finish it.
Yeah.
So maybe we be doing some like well, I mean we can do like basically like a pack roll to maybe see how something goes if this does go to violence.
Mhm.
But I do think that this is I think what is about to happen would be a big thing. In such a way that I actually think maybe it's worth just kind of moving into some like abstraction a little bit.
Mhm.
Okay.
Because I think she kind of, I think she snaps her like one of her fingers, right?
Mhm.
And she in particular disappears. She sort of like, you know, the like ninja smoke bomb thing, but imagine
Mhm.
just for like a pile of feathers, right?
Mhm.
And then some doors swing open and some people start 4 people kind of come out wearing the same uniform as the angel you fought in your bar comes out, though this time instead of stun batons and flashbangs they have like pistols and riot shields.
Mhm.
um and I'm very curious if Anna just if this is immediately just like twist of the throttle and we just get a jaguar flying into a bunch of cops is basically the end of this. Cause like I don't like I'm sure something here could like there is ways these characters could get out of this, but this is a long process that's about to would be happening.
Mhm.
Uh so like maybe this is just like montaging of you guys fighting through this prison.
Yeah.
If we want like some like snapshots of it, we
Absolutely.
don't need to do any rolls, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Adrian's definitely just gonna barrel through the front line, like
Mhm.
try to make a path for everyone to get in, and then we can try to figure where Tanyo is.
I think Anna's probably what might leap in and deal with people in the front line, but when she sees Adrian barreling, I think would would probably go through like vanish and then just start picking off going further in, picking off people that look like they're going to be in more trouble as the rest of them go through.
I think Iscodal does a similar thing because they can turn invisible and phase through solid walls.
Very
Yeah,
helpful to
please
fail.
find him.
Yeah. So like I think
Um,
Iscodal is just like going off like to find Tonyo.
Yeah.
Please,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
can't make myself I can't phase yet at level 2, but I can go invisible and then killing leech
Well, I
to
was
pick off
assuming
things.
I was unleashing my Nahual
Yeah.
to get
yeah,
the third
yeah,
stage. So.
yeah, absolutely. We don't need to
Yeah.
Listen, don't really need to focus on rolls all that much.
Mhm.
But also makes sense for it's called to specifically be like, yes, phasing.
Mhm.
Which is one of the weirder powers that I think like all of them get the phasing, and that's kind
Yeah.
of it's
I mean,
like
it's because there's spirits, isn't it?
it's spirits,
So.
yeah. But it's still like some of the powers get really weird in a way that I think is fun. Like it's not
Mhm.
just associated with the animal. Not just associations with the animal, rather.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you guys like break through the front. Um, I'm so brain poisoned. I cannot imagine Adrian breaking through the front in any way other than like Sonic spin dashing just through a bunch of guys. Like totally takes all the like really takes the like serious tone out of it. But I just hear the sound in my head.
Uh-huh.
Just revving up. Like
Just revving up,
imagine
yeah.
the bike revving up and then
Mhm.
And then a guy flies
Instantly.
forward instead of the bike.
Yeah.
Just in a ball, just armadillo things.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I think Adrian would also unleash. Like
Yeah.
this is the time to do
This is
that.
the time. Yeah, so you guys are able to like, you break through the front. I think this is this is a jail, not a prison. I kept saying prison because I always forget there's technically a difference.
Mhm.
So I think it's actually like maybe a little, like it's a relatively small and cramped building, and I think you're
Mhm.
able to, I mean, essentially like fight your way kind of through to like all the like do all the holding cells and eventually to a holding cell kind of in the back. And
Mhm.
I think this is where we'll kind of come to a stop here, which you guys eventually make it to the front, make it to the back in front of this kind of big room, um, covered in um, both blood of angels and also like your own wounds, because you definitely do not get through
Mhm.
this unscathed.
Mhm.
Um, and I think that like you kind of come up on this like big. Honestly, I'm almost imagining the if you've seen like the X-Men movies, how they stuck Magneto in like a plastic box.
Uh-huh.
Something similar to that, because as just discussed, all of you can eventually start phasing.
Mhm.
And I think they've made sort of like there are specifically sort of like supernatural proof um cells that they've been able to
Mhm.
they're you still can break into them, like kind of with normal methods, but you can't just like phase into and like grab them. um
Mhm.
And I think it's like a one. I also think the thing that is maybe happening here is it's like a um, one-way translucent plastic. You guys can see Tanyo in there, but he cannot see you out.
Mhm.
Um,
Mm.
and he is like sitting at a desk writing something. Um, and that's all you.
Mhm.
I think that's all you see. Like he's writing something down. Um, and yeah, I think that's the like end of it, essentially, with like, hey, we know that you guys are going to be able to get him out of there. The kind of
Mhm.
how is a little up in the air. Like we don't have Tanya here, uh,
Mhm.
um, to do that. But I think you guys are able to fight your way through the prison,
Mhm.
Mhm.
leaving a bloody trail in your wake.
Yep.
That'll certainly have like consequences on the barrio.
Mhm.
Um, but
Oh
all
yeah.
like not necessarily all negative. So,
Mhm.
you know, um, especially if kind of as we discussed a little, like a crackdown was gonna kind of already start happening regardless,
Mhm.
or at least Miro knows that. So
Well, then we've already got rid of like I don't know, maybe
yeah,
10% of the problem.
yeah, exactly. Um,
I also think that like in part of this prison break, I think Miro, because he's not that great in a combat, or
Mhm.
like rather hand to hand. I think that his approach was just letting everyone that he passed by that was jailed up. He was just like letting everyone out.
oh my god,
Oh yeah.
oh shit.
Um, so it was like,
Ah.
yeah, I mean, like if they're in jail here, there's no way they're going to be fighting us. If we let them out, then we've got more people on our side.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Adding
100%
to the
chaos.
mayhem, adding to this other stuff,
Or
but
at
it also
least
means the fallout.
distraction.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then I think
exactly.
just as we're going through, I think as we go through the whole thing, I think Anna's just looking just better, just because almost certainly probably triggers bloodlust a few times and clears all the conditions and stresses. Just getting through that.
Yeah. That's fair. Um, it probably fluctuates, but
Everyone else got to feel better by having a go at Anna, and then and completely stopped it from doing it.
mhm. Yeah. I also think maybe a fun thing with how the camera frames some of this a little
Mhm.
bit is I have to imagine that like other characters are maybe framed a little more I mean, I'm gonna use the term like animalistically, right? Like a lot
Mhm.
more if this was a TV show, honest fight scenes would have a lot of shaky cam, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I think for like Miro in particular, like I don't know if this is a thing other people notice, but like there's a way that like war movies shoot soldiers. Like there's this very I don't know how I put this, but there's like a different way military movies are kind of shot.
Totally.
And I think like I wonder if while you're not very good in a fight, if this does maybe feel a little bit more like Miro in kind of their elements.
I agree.
Because
I agree.
this is basically like this is military action. What is happening here? This is like more than just doing a hunt. This is a very different kind of
It's subterfuge.
situation. Yeah,
Like, Miro
exactly.
always wanted to be a spy, but he never got to do the infiltrating spy shit. He only got the like tapping into other people's comms stuff. So he's kind of living here.
I love that for a character this old to still be getting to do that is always a thing and stuff I like. Yeah, so you guys yeah, I think I think that's a good place to call it.
Mm.
That was a fun time.
Yeah, did we get any more donations when I was not looking at the screen? It did not look like it.
I didn't see any. That was
I don't
Ari,
see
right?
any.
Let me just refresh the
Yeah.
page, see if I. No, still 1900.
Okay. Fine. I was just is there anyone you shout out before we go? Yeah, it's fun. Thanks for playing and thanks for watching. And
Thanks for running the game.
Yeah.
Thank you for hosting, Anna.
I'm glad. Yeah, 6 years.
Yeah, jeez.
I like last year when I was like, oh god, I've done this every fucking year and it's year 5. Holy shit. Like I was like, it's been a lot. And then I was like, oh my god, it's year 6. Somehow that feels even worse. Like that feels more than one step than 5 to me. I'm like,
Agreed.
that's so I'm like 6, that's so long. What is going on? Like it felt like it went from 5 to 10 all of a sudden. I was like, oh yay.
Yeah, I think I think it's just because 5 is 5 is like the most numbers you can just instinctively you can ever really instinctively just get in your head. 6 you need to actually think about it a little bit more. 4 or 5 you can just see 4 or 5 things, like up to like 4 or 5 things you can just know it without having to think about it. More than that, you actually have to count, even if it's quickly.
Yeah. No, that totally makes sense.
Actually, psychological concept there with how we think of numbers.
Yeah.
Like a completely different brain pathways for like up to 4 or 5 than it is for above that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, there's gonna be a day when we're gonna be doing this for 10 years. I am going to be upset when that day comes because that means I am getting old.
Hey, I mean, take it from Miro. There's nothing terrible about growing old.
That's fair. I mean, obviously, I obviously know that, but that I'm also like, oh, yeah, I am old.
Oh God.
I mean, part of it is I work with like so many people in my work are young, and also like I teach swim lessons and stuff, so I'm around kids a lot, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm fucking old. Like, I've more recently started having the like, I don't understand what these people are talking about. Oh god. Oh no. Am I out of touch? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Like that's only recently started happening. I'm like, fuck. No.
Yeah. When it does get to 10 years, it would literally be, oh shit, I'm 14 and a half years old.
Oh.
It will happen to them too. Yeah, you're right. That's fair. But anyway. Yeah, let's should probably start wrapping up here. What game is next? Was it Slug Blaster?
It is Slug Blaster. From the grittiness of Nahual into the silly zaniness of Slug Blaster. I think the clash is going to be really good.
I am very excited for that.
I mean, it's like a double whiplash here for people who are just sitting here watching everything. From Fuck You, I'm a Goblin to this, and then to Slug Blaster.
Yeah, I was kind of saying like, man, like I know this game could be a lie. I was like, oh, I felt good that Heart was being played today because Heart can be a heavy game in similar ways. But I forgot that we were nested between like a Fuck You, I'm a Goblin and Slugmaster's like a skateboarding game, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So like a real serious dark departure before
Yep.
and then before it goes back to silly
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah,
Which I,
I'm not really sure how the tone is for Violet Core later on, but yeah. Oy.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
yeah, I'm excited for Slipmaster. All right. I think we're good here. I think we can put up like the break.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, y'all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you for
you.
joining
Bye.
us.